Hello guys, welcome to the Falcons Champions Trophy second edition match number 30 from Sulabiya Stadium. Today's game is between Gujarat CC and Royal Lion CC. It's been a bad start for Royal CC in this particular tournament. They've played 3 games so far. Unfortunately, they haven't won any games, so this is a very crucial game for them to win and to get some points in this particular tournament. Whereas Gujarat, they are third on this table. They've played 2 games and won one, lost one. We have Imran and Asfik playing for the Gujarat CC. Even though they've had a wicket early on in this innings, in the first over, I would say, it hasn't taken any confidence out of them. They're 35 for 1 after 3 overs. That's Nalaka bowling. I think Royal Line CC have decided to go with spin and paces combination for the power play. We have seen spinners have been very controlling in this particular tournament, especially during the evening games. They have got a greater turn to the ball, so we might be expecting spinners to be more dominating in this particular tournament, especially during the evening games. Let's see, Imran, he faced his ball very well. He has faced 6 balls and scored 12 runs, whereas Ashvik has scored 20 runs of 10 balls. Pretty positive start from both the batters. It's a new bowler coming in, Basit. Let's see what is Basit's career performances are.
I think again, just to
So,
get back in line with the comment that you made, Kritesh, we have seen a lot of success for the bowling teams when they've been utilizing slower bowlers than paces. Obviously, batsmen forced to almost generate that pace take on the bowler. Do you think there's a significance again a misfield? They're almost going for a four, but fielder recuperates just in time. Again, two really set batsmen so far. Do you think it's always better to bring a spinner on in the power play, give a couple of overs just to see how they are performing in the power play?
yeah, definitely bringing spinners early on in the power play definitely tests the batsman's capability to score runs. We have seen mostly that against paces they are very easily able to score runs with boundaries being very small. They just have to time the shots very well, and if they make the proper connect, then it's going for a boundary. So against spinners, you'll have to judge the ball very well with the outfield being very slow. So it's very difficult to get a boundary against spinners, I would say. So bringing in spinners early on would definitely put pressure on the batters. Controlling runs in power play is definitely what, from a fielding perspective, from the bowling team's perspective, you should be looking at. Because if you control very well during the power play, it might be very difficult for the batters coming out of power play. But I think bringing spinners in might be very helpful taking wickets as well. So you might be running out of options coming out of power play. So that is what you should be aiming at if you're a bowling team.
Yeah.
When we're Let's talk about Basit. He has played 68 games so far. Uh, yes, sorry, with the bowling shots, he has played 68 games. His economy is under 10, which is not the great what we have seen. We have seen yesterday most of the bowlers they are keeping economy below 5 and taking wickets as well, mostly
Yeah.
from youngsters. The performance from youngsters is really outstanding in this particular tournament. I think we might be seeing a lot of youngsters today as well, because that's a great ball from Basit. He has controlled it without letting go for any boundaries in this particular over.
Mm-hmm.
So after 4 overs, it is 43 for 1. Aspik at 23 runs and Imran at 17 runs.
Yeah, but again, Kritesh, we did talk about this before as well. Do you almost, don't mind going for maybe about 8, 9 runs in the power play because you can, come back and pull your economy back post power play. But the last thing you want to do is not get wickets, and we know how important wickets have been so far in the power play. I think they've struggled to get, a lot of momentum after getting that first wicket here. Have the Royals. Obviously, Ashfaq and Imran looking really solid now. Ashfaq especially scoring 23 of the 12 balls he's faced. So you almost want them to go and try to get wickets in the power play, don't you think?
Definitely, they should be trying to go for wickets, but against Imran and Asfik, Imran he is a very experienced batter. He has played about 94 games. The highest total he has scored is 143 runs, which is definitely outstanding. His average is about 43 runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we might be in for a lot of runs today. What do you think his line must be,
So
Gokul,
initially,
for
I
Imran?
was thinking about somebody like was it Imran or Ashfaq that you were referring to?
I'm referring to Imran, who has got an average of 43 runs. He has
Yeah,
looked very confident, scored 17 runs of 10 balls.
yeah.
He did not take any time in getting settled. So,
But I think this is his game, though. I don't think he's done anything, differently than from what he would have wanted to do. So I think he probably is still in for maybe about 43, 44 runs. That, like you said, that's his career average. Um, I think there's a slight difference from the previous games that we did earlier on in the competition. I think over the last couple of games, we've seen a lot more boundaries than sixes. So I think maybe that might be something that Imran and Ashfaq want to change here today. Obviously, scoring more sixes means more risks. Taking the fielders on the boundary. Obviously, we've seen it go against a lot of players. Even yesterday, we saw good players like Santosh, who was batting really well, hitting a lot of sixes. Still, tried to go for those sixes and end up getting caught out in the boundary. Almost, too much of a risk to reward ratio in that sense. And I think it's
I'm sorry to cut you, Gokul. There is a few comments on the chat box. I think Talinder wants to know what is the score. It is the matches between Gujarat CC and Royal Lion CC Falcons Trophy happening in Kuwait. Gujarat CC are 47 for 1 after 4.2 overs. If you want to know the score, there is a link pinned on the chat. If you click onto that, it will take you to the live stream of this game. There is no subscriptions needed. You will get the fastest stream available out.
and no ads as
It's
well,
no
Krithik.
ads as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's no ads as
So
well.
again, just to
That-
remind you guys what Kritesh said there, it is it's the fastest live stream in the world for this game. So if you do want to watch the game live, please click on the link in the comment section there. It's
Something
cricketlaunch.tv.
something interesting has happened, Gokul. There is a no ball.
Yeah,
Ashvik is facing it. There we go.
I think it's going to be another no
That's
ball because
when
of the
another
wide.
no ball. There was an extra. Yeah.
Yeah, so the wide basically meaning that there's just going to be another no ball there. Again, just to let you know as well, Jatinder, you can click on that link, cricketlaunch.tv, and it'll take you to our website. So unfortunately, Pankaj, we don't have the ability to show this game live on YouTube. But if you want to watch this live, including the score, obviously you can click on that link that's mentioned in the chat box, cricketlaunch.tv. If you click on that link, you can watch the game live. As Kritesh mentioned, it is free of charge, so you can watch it for free. It's the fastest stream in the world for this game. So all you need to do if you want to watch the game and if you want to see the score live is click on that cricketlaunch.tv link in the chat. It's also the pinned comment as well. So if you want to just watch it, you
So
can click it there.
So we are here to discuss about the analytics of the game and what will be the outcomes and talk about the predictions. So you can click on the link, look at the live game, and we can have a discussion about the predictions and other analytics about the players as well. You can feel free to ask questions about the players and whatever is in your mind about the game regarding the pitch conditions, the weather out there in Kuwait, or any kind of questions related to this game. You can feel free to ask us, put it on the chat box, and we can have a discussion about that.
Yeah, so Kritesh, you were saying about the batsmen, both Imran and Ashfaq.
Yeah, we were talking about Imran and Ashfaq. Imran being well experienced batter. The average is 47, and not to mention the previous game he has scored 51 runs of 32 balls, scoring 4 fours, and 3 6s, Gokul. So I
Yeah.
think we might be expecting a very similar performance from him today. Definitely, Ashvik is not very experienced as Imran, but his average is also 45. He has played only 13 games so far in his career, scoring 504 runs. His average is 44. For a person to have such great numbers early on in the career is very incredible. So
Yeah.
we can show his abilities. He scored 32 runs of 18 balls, no risks taken, everything clean shot. He's playing really well, very positive cricket from him. If these two build a partnership, I think we might be looking at a target of, I think, 200.
Yeah.
They might be able to set a target of 200, I would say.
Yeah.
You can see the run prediction is saying currently 154, which I won't agree to it. I think it's definitely more than that.
I think it might just be considering if these two get out, is there a lot of depth in this batting lineup to get to that 200 score that you mentioned? I think 154 is a bit too low. I think we'll see that change the longer these two keep batting. But again, I probably would agree with you on that and say around 190 to 200 is probably like an accurate depiction of what the score is going to be. Anon asks, how do we know if this is the fastest stream? So basically, Anon, cricketlounge.tv owns the streaming rights for this game. So we have the fastest stream in the world. So if you ever watch any of the Kuwaiti Falcons Champions Trophy games, whether it's the Premier Division or the Gold or Silver Cup, you'll be able to see that we have the fastest stream in the world. You can compare it with any other source as well. So if you just click on that link, it'll show you a list of all of the games that we cover. As of right now, we're covering all of the Kuwaiti Falcons Champions Trophy games. So feel free to just click on it and have a look. Like Kritesh and I mentioned earlier as well, it is free. We don't have any ads, and the matches are all covered in HD. So I'm sure you'll have a fun time watching the game along with us as well.
Definitely feel free to join us and we can have a discussion about it. Tilender, Sagar, Pankaj, we can discuss about the predictions or whatever doubts you have about this game. Please feel free to put it on the chat and we can talk about it. That's a slower shot from Asvik. That's a misfield and it's gone all the way closer to the four, but fielder somehow manages to recover from his mistake.
Yeah. Again, Kritesh, really good start for Gujarat CC. Obviously, losing that wicket in the beginning of the innings. Thanks to good batting from both Imran and Ashfaq, they've got to 60 for one in just the 5.3 overs. They might still get to that 70-run mark as well. At the end of the power play, we'll just have to wait and see if they're able to get a couple of boundaries towards the end. It's an inside edge, ends up getting lucky there, Ashfaq, to not drag it back onto his stumps. Again, how important it
Definitely.
is to score a lot of runs in the power play.
Yeah, this is what we've been talking about. The discussion what we had is that most of the teams when they come into the power play they should be aiming for somewhere around 60 runs, which Gujarat CC have done it very well. Scoring more than 60 is definitely going to boost your confidence. There we go. He's going for big shots back to back again. That has found his way to the boundary. I think it's a six.
I think we'll just
I
have
think
to
it
wait
might
for
be six.
confirmation.
Yeah,
It is given
that's
as a six by
definitely
the
a
umpire.
six.
So
He,
that
he was eager
170,
to go. Yeah.
that 70-run dream for the power play is still on. I think this might be the second highest partnership in the power play that we have seen in a long time, Kritesh, because obviously over the past couple of games that we've covered, except for that game where Rivaj went ballistic, scoring that 113 runs for that opening stand, we did notice that quite a lot of teams struggled and they weren't able to maintain their integrity in that power play. They ended up losing quite a lot of wickets in the power play. How important has it been so far for Ashfaq and Imran to make sure that doesn't happen? Obviously, the projected score from this point of time, because of the run rate that they're going at, is 238. Do you think they'll be able to get to that stage, Kritesh?
I think 238 must be not out of the reach. But if these two continue, there we go. That's another shot.
Yeah, poor field placement. There's nobody on that leg side
There's nobody
boundary.
on the leg side.
Considering the amount of boundaries that we've seen go towards that side, obviously you'd expect there to be a little bit more likelihood in a potential fielder in the leg side around deep square leg. But again, like we said, it's probably not the smartest captaincy by not keeping a fielder there. Bassett ending up giving quite a lot of runs away, 15 runs in that over, Kritesh. So only 5 of the first 5 balls, and then and ended up giving 10 runs in those last 2 balls.
Just as you mentioned, Gokul, they reached the 50 target for the power play. Very great performance from these two. And like you mentioned with the fielding, you definitely need to have a deep square up there because you have seen most of the batters going for that particular leg shot. So you definitely need an deep square there.
Yeah.
If you miss that, it's going to cost you a lot of runs. There we go. That's another youngster coming into bowl. This is not surprising. This is what we have been seeing so far in this particular competition. Imran and Ashfaq, they are playing very well. The one thing which lagged in most of the batters so far in this tournament was they did not have a good communication and there is no good understanding between the batsmen. But here we see these two, they take time in between, they discuss what is the plan, they play accordingly. That is what bringing the runs in, I would say.
Yeah, I think it is very important, like you said, to have that connection between your non-striker as a batsman. Obviously, if you have that level of trust, you're running between the wickets, it's better both of you understand what the other person wants to do. And you can see that, it's changed the win percentage quite a lot. Gujarat CC at, a comfortable position now, 86%, the prediction for Gujarat CC to win this game. The only thing you probably think now is if there is a wicket, if Kevin, for example, is able to come in and get a wicket, all of that changes. You all of a sudden, have a much, closer game in your hand. Obviously, a youngster, Kevin. We have seen a couple of other youngsters as well shine in this tournament so far, but Kevin, unfortunately, dragging the ball a bit too far down leg side against someone like Imran. You don't want to give him that opportunity to take you on, and that's another boundary for Imran. Again,
Exactly, this is what we have been talking about, Gokul. The deep square fielder, what we needed, because as a bowler, there is no leg side deep square there.
yeah.
You don't expect the bowler to be bowling that particular length for it making the batsman to go easy on the leg side. You should be bowling on the other length, other line. What do you think, Gokul? Do you think this bowling? I think there's a change of the fielding now. He's expecting. I think we might be expecting a deep square there. That's a
I
good
think I'm
thinking from the
surprised that
bowler
they haven't really bought the deep square out. Already we've
early
seen
on.
it.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of runs essentially. In that leg side area. The last thing you want is to just give that batsman that free range to score runs. Ashfaq obviously already nearing his 50. He looks pretty comfortable. I don't think there's any need to take risks post power play, especially when you're able to get a boundary of the first ball. You might just see a lot more singles and doubles in this stage of the game, in this period of play. Obviously, Ashfaq and Imran know each other really well, but probably not the best of batsmen when it comes to running between the wickets. And why do you have to be? You still get runs through your boundaries. And if you look at their career stats as well, these two do like scoring a lot of runs in boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
Only thing is, would they take the risk, taking the bowlers on now?
Definitely, I think they're going against every bowler very well. They're judging all the balls very nicely. There we go. That's another great shot from Imran. There we go. This is what we were talking about, Gokul. You don't expect to put your leg on the fielding when you do trying to stop the boundary that was coming very powerful. You might injure yourself. You don't expect your fielders to put legs to stop such powerful shot. You'll end up injuring yourself. That's what we saw yesterday as well.
Yeah, we
Few
saw a couple of
injuries.
injuries in that second innings in that second game. I think it was Mohsin who ended up having a bloody nose. So that's not something that you want to see, and I think the boundaries isn't something that Kevin or his captain wants to see either. Royals obviously not getting off to the best of starts, 81 for 1 with one ball to go in this seventh over. Let's just have a look to see if Ashfaq can get to his 50 with a
50.
big shot. So current run rate, also no ball, no
There we
start.
go.
It
That's
dips
just.
enough. I think it's just going to be a single. So really lucky not to get punished. There's a very bad ball from Kevin
We saw an
playing.
interesting bowling from one of the bowlers yesterday. He was bowling almost like this ball every single time.
Yeah, just a
All
very
like very
loopy.
slow,
Yeah,
very loopy high ball, making it difficult for the batsman to go for bigger
it's an
shots with a slower
interesting
delivery.
tactic that I'm not. I don't think I've seen a lot of people trying that tactic out. But obviously, if it works, it works, I guess. And he's happy with the way it's gone for him.
Yeah, Ashfaq is the leading scorer for this Gujarat CC team, Google. Not to mention, he has scored 68 of 37 in the first match and he has scored 59 of 33 in the second game. So we might be expecting a very similar performance today. I think he might be able to score easily. If he stays this confident, he might be able to reach century, Google. What do you think? There we go. That's another youngster. It's very great to see this particular tournament that they are encouraging the youngsters, bringing them in early
But
on
the
in the innings,
problem is,
giving
would
them
you want to
chance.
be bowling a youngster against somebody like Ashfaq, who's almost going at a 200 strike rate? Obviously, the innings so far as well, almost at a 12 run rate. So they're scoring runs very freely. Is it the smart thing to bring a youngster, put him under a lot of pressure as well? Not to mention against a couple of experienced batsmen. I might not agree. Again, Methum a little bit more flat. He almost ended up getting. Has he got the wicket? Unfortunately, the inside edge, just missed the stump. So Methum, almost got a wicket with his first ball there, Kritish.
Come on, let's not underestimate Mitham. He looks great. Let's see what he has to offer in this last next
Again,
five balls
definitely
he has to
agree. All
bowl.
of these players
I
are,
think this is the first
really.
game he's playing. Very good shot. Let's see if it is going to be a great start to his career. Because slower ball, slower
Two
delivery.
solid balls so far from Mithum. Obviously, not a lot of data to go off of because of his lack of experience at this level. But again, I think all of the stats can only show you a certain amount of the picture, can't it? In the end of the day, what you show on the pitch is what's actually important.
Yeah.
Um, Let's just have a
Now we
look to
got
see
third
how.
ball from Mithum. That's a good delivery. Oh my god, that's a great turn from Mithum.
Yeah, Imran just stays on that back foot, misses it completely. Good take from the wicketkeeper though.
I think it's a good thing bringing in Mithum. I I think this might bringing a youngster against an experienced batter might make the batter feel like it'll be easy scoring runs against. I think that's the mind games being played. Mithum is making it difficult for them, making them think about the choices what they made. There we go. It's a
Definitely a little
good
bit
shot,
fuller
but
though. So I think that's something that you don't really want to do, bowl that full to somebody like Imran who's going to take you on. The projected score still around that 230 mark, Kritesh. Obviously, 2 balls left in the over. I think he's pulled the economy back a little bit for Gujarat CC has made him. So I think his captain's going to be happy with him so far, and maybe Kevin can speak to him a little bit, make sure his.
that's a bad ball from him. That's high up in the air.
I
There's
think
no fielder there that's gone all the way for the
I don't
six.
think it would matter if there was a fielder there. Kritesh was a big six.
That brings
Um,
the 50 for Ashvik.
yeah, I think he's going to be really
It's
happy to
almost.
be given a loose like that to almost take advantage of. You can't be bowling there. To somebody like Ashfaq, and obviously he gets punished almost immediately.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great 50 from Ashfaq. He's striking at 196, almost 200 rate Gokul. Great 50 from him, 55 of 28. This is what you expect from an opener. This is what you expect, like opener to come in confident, taking no time to set, utilizing the power play very well,
Yeah,
scoring almost 70 runs of the power play.
yeah.
Even after coming out of power play, there is no change in the intent. They are staying positive.
I
Both the
think
batsmen,
the
they're having a
fact that
great
they haven't
communication as well.
lost any wickets, Kritesh, I think is playing to their advantage. They're feeling very confident at
Definitely,
this point,
definitely.
and they know they have nothing to worry about because they've already got their team to such a stage where even the rest of the batsmen who are able to bat, they might not have to take any risks in their innings, and they don't have to worry about losing wickets either. Obviously, a couple of games recently we have seen teams struggling to get past that 150 mark, which looks very easy for the Gujarat CC team at this moment in time. As we see Kevin coming back into the bowling lineup, and again he went for 12 runs in the first over. But again, it just depends on
Yeah.
how he's able to respond to these two batsmen who look really confident in the way they've gone about their business. Don't you
I
think?
think if you are a bowler, it is definitely you're under pressure. All the bowlers now are under pressure because of the performance put up by these two batters.
Yeah.
I think they need to bring a new bowler maybe to see if it works out against these two. All the bowlers they've faced so far, they're being very confident. I think Meetham is the only one who has controlled very well out of all the bowlers who had come so far.
Which is surprising,
But
especially
still,
if you're a captain. You don't want to, back your under 18 player to be the one who comes to, choke the run floor. Obviously, it's always great if they can, but the last thing you want to do is almost have an expectation from them to come and help your team, limit the leaking of the runs, especially in the post power play period. The expected score again just slowly creeping up, almost at that 240 mark now, Kritesh, on the website. Obviously, the Royal Lion CC expected score still about 159. That just shows you how much the batting lineup has struggled for Royal Lions historically, hasn't it, Kritesh?
yeah, definitely. Royal Lions do not have a great start to the tournament, as I told. They have played 3 games so far, but they were very unfortunate. They were unable to win even one game. And the batters have been really struggling in the Royal CC. Let's see if they have got a better batting lineup. For batting, on Royal CC, they have just got Vijay Vasegara, who has played 4 games so far, scoring 131 runs, is averaging about 43. Kind of same experience of these two, Ashvik and Imran. So maybe we might be expecting very similar performance from Vijay Segara. Other than him, they don't have great batsmen. Uh, so it might be worth looking at their bowling. If they had to do something, they'll have to do with the bowling. They'll have to control the scores from Gujarat CC, and they might be able to chase the target. If they go for, I would say, more than 170, 180 runs, then it might be very difficult to chase that target, Gokul.
Yeah, I
They should
definitely agree with
definitely
that.
try to control them within 170 or even 160 to make the chase quite comfortable.
Yeah, another ball on
There
the
we go.
leg
That's another
side,
the
which is
leg
going to get
side.
taken on. It's going to
That's why you
be
need a
dropped in the end. It was a difficult catch. Obviously, he had to jump in the air almost to prevent it from going for six. But you need to
the
take
good
those kind
thing.
of
Yeah.
catches, or else you're gonna, just keep getting hit by somebody like Imran. That's your opportunity. Again, it's a half chance. but half chance is your only chance when you're batting against. When you're bowling against these two. Unfortunately, it is dropped on the boundary. He does prevent it from going for a six, so still a commendable effort in the leg side field. Another loose ball again, mistimed by Imran, ends up just going for the single. Obviously, these two don't really push a lot for the twos. Unless it's always going to be there for the taking. Slightly better over for Kevin, but again, a couple of looseness means that is still relatively expensive. 10 runs of the over in a second over as well. Not ideal when you've only bowled 2 overs and already gone for 22 runs. 101 for 1 after 9 overs. Imran on 36 of 21. And Ashfaq on a very quick 60 of 32. They've done really well so far to not give away extras, but I hope I haven't jinxed it by saying that. Datamore asks Kaun jeetega. Again, you can see the predictions as well. Datamore on the screen. The prediction says 89% Gujarat CC, and I think I agree with that. And as long as these two keep batting, I'll have to back Gujarat CC. You don't expect a lot of batting performance from a team that struggled with the bat recently, and that is the Royal Lions. In this innings, I think they're going to score about 210 to 220 runs, somewhere around that mark, with the way the game's gone so far. There's an appeal
That's
there.
a great appeal from Mithun. I think it shared a little bit leg side.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gokul?
Definitely, I think I
I'm
was
not convinced.
pitching on leg and it didn't turn enough to bother the umpire there. I think he was
Yeah.
comfortably going down leg side.
The previous over, there was I think the deep square should have put a great effort there. He could have caught it. It was straight into his hands, even though it was like a running try from him. If he tried catching it, then that would have costed so much for Gujarat, because
Yeah.
that would mean Ashfaq is gone and there is a new batter in the crease
Again, one more
with
thing
Imran
just
still in.
to let you know, Kritesh, the partnership so far 94 of 54. How solid has their batting performance been? Again, this is still
There we
considering
go. That's
that
another great shot. It's high up in the air. I think it's gone long way to the six. It's a huge six
yeah, I think it's
straight.
one of the biggest sixes you'll see, Kritesh. I think the flight was read really early, and the batsman steps out, clears his front leg and gets it, in the middle of the bat. And obviously, with these two, if they do connect, it's gonna go a really long way back. So Meetham probably bowling the first real loose ball in his spell so far, ends up getting hit for a six. That's something that he'll probably want to improve. With that, Ashfaq goes to 66 of 33. He's going at a strike rate of 200, Kritesh. How
I
important
think,
has he been so far for this team? And a poor
yeah,
set of
definitely.
fielding means they're going to get that single comfortably in the end.
There you
They're
go. That's
gonna
another missed throw from them.
yeah
Overthrow. They're going for another run.
I think they're gonna
I
get
think
it going.
Ashvik might try to keep the strike in the last ball of the over. What do you think? With these two, I think Ashvik is the one being very aggressive, whereas
Yeah.
Imran, even though Imran has showed some intent, but he's not taking any risks. I wouldn't say that Ashvik is taking risks, but he's playing it very confidently,
Yeah, it's not
striking
risky
them.
when you're
Yeah.
able to just clear the ball very easily. It's a really bad ball from
But
Mitham to finish the over, but ends up
that's
getting
another
swept
boundary.
for four. So all of a sudden, it looks like this game, it's almost completely out of the control of the Royal Lions bowlers. Mitham, he was doing really well in that first over, but he's lost his line, and I think that just answers your question there, Datamore. I think this game is almost completely out of the reach of this Royal Lions CC team
There we
already.
go. That's another message from Jack Daniels saying that Gujrat by jeetega. So
It's a lot of.
we
I
definitely
think there's a
agree
lot
that.
of belief in the Gujarat CC team today, and I think that can be seen in the chat as well. The core as well, coming in with a lot of support for the Gujarat team. I think unfortunately, I think
We
he's
have
supporting
we
the
have
Royal Lions. That
another.
is.
Yeah,
Again, just to
that's
let you
another
guys
person.
know, if you want to watch this game live, the stream is available on free at cricketlaunch.tv. The link is the pinned comment in the chat. I'll also put it in the chat once again just to make it easier for you guys. Obviously, you can watch the game live without any ads, and it is the fastest stream in the world for this match as well. So if you want to stay up to date with the scores of this game, I would strongly recommend you click on that link, cricketlaunch.tv, and you'll be able to join in watching the game with us. If Guju wins a free after jalebi. I think Kritesh
Wow.
would be really happy if you gave him some jalebi as well,
It's
Jack
really
Daniels. So I think I'm rooting for Gujarat as well now, especially knowing that there's some jalebi on the line. Manoj coming back, Manoj coming into the attack,
it's a
goes for
new
two with
bowler,
the
as we
first
spoke.
ball.
Definite. Oh, there we go. That's a loose ball in the first delivery that's gone very high. That's one bounce to the four.
And
It's very happy to hear that we have fans from Canada watching our stream. He's supporting Gujarat as well. The previous one, Core, I'm not quite sure. He's supporting both the Lions and Gujarat. I think he wants to see a very exciting game where it is very competitive. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be very competitive with the way Gujarat are playing so far. 120 of just 10.2 overs. It's really great score. I think they might be expecting to reach somewhere around 230-ish. What do you
yeah,
think, Gokul? I
I
think 230
agree.
is definitely.
I definitely agree. I think Pyro says Guju shouldn't win LOL. Unfortunately, Pyro, I don't think that prediction is going to come true today either. Because again, like you can see on a win predictor, there's only an 8% chance for the Lions to win the game from here. Again, 8% is enough. If you want to back them, it's a good probability if you want to back them. But I just think overall, probably not the smartest thing to be backing the Royal Lions at this point. Again, all of that can change if Manoj is able to get a wicket here. These two batsmen obviously play a big role in that percentage being so favorable for Gujarat CC. So if we see a wicket, in the next couple of overs, it might just help the Royal Lions switch the probability in the game. Again, we've seen quite a lot of collapses in this competition so far, haven't we, Kritesh? We saw a couple of days ago they were going
There you go.
really
I think,
well.
just to cut you, Gokul, I think Imran is going to reach his 50 on stride. I was expecting him to go for a six, but there we go. They've saved the four.
I think it's
He's
just going to
taken
be two
just
runs.
two,
Yeah.
yeah, just two
I
runs
think
of
Imran's probably not the
Imran.
happiest person here with Ashfaq making him run quite a lot of these twos. We saw it yesterday with Rajendra. He ran a couple of twos in an over and then they were almost forced by his non-striker to run the three and he almost
Yeah.
gave up halfway and ended up getting run out. So
Do you
uh,
think Imran will reach 15 style, Gokul? Let's see. 46. There we go. Oh my God, that's a wicket.
unfortunately,
Unfortunately, that's a wicket.
he
This
does
is
get
what we've been
out.
talking about, Gokul. Manoj gets the big breakthrough here,
I think
takes the danger man Imran out,
Pyro's
but
prayers have
still.
been heard, Kritesh. I think that's a big wicket. Imran going for 46 of 29, and all of a sudden the win probability I think is going to start moving in Royal Lions' favor. Who will hope probably that they can try to get a couple of wickets, back to back, to just push their probability, a little bit higher with each wicket. Again, really full ball, invited the shot. He just swung blindly for it, almost missed it completely. No real footwork there, and ended up, getting bowled. This is the moment in the game that probably can start pushing the probability towards the favor of Royal Lions. Don't you think?
Maybe I'm not quite sure with the danger man Ashvik still in the crease. He's staying confident. Even though there was a first wicket early on in the match, on the very first over, we had a wicket, but that didn't shake him well. These two came back very positive. They did not take time to get settled. Went on from the first over itself. They scored 70 of the power play. Now we have Sajid Mahmood, I think. He's very experienced batter, played 212 games. The highest he has scored is 70. He's averaging about 21 runs. So I think we might be expecting about 20 odd runs from him again today, Gokul. What do you think?
Yeah,
Let's see in
definitely.
this, but
Thank you. Obviously, Jack Daniels says very informative there from Kritesh. Really, thank you. Honestly, it does mean a lot when you guys give us the feedback because we know exactly what it is that you're trying to, figure out when you come to watch these games. Again, just to let you know, we have the fastest stream in the world for this game, guys. The link to watch the stream live is the pinned comment in the chat. So that takes you to the cricketlaunch.tv website where you can click on the first game. That is the Gujarat CC versus Royal Lions CC match today. And obviously you can watch the game along with us. You can ask us questions like a couple of these guys in the chat have been doing so far, and we would be more than happy to help you. Again, a lot of the times people ask Kritesh, who's our insight analyst into this game, a lot of questions about the players, the batsmen, the conditions of the wicket, what a good score potentially could be. And obviously, he's more than happy to help you guys with his opinions as well. As we can see, Kevin coming back into the attack. Just the 3 runs of the over so far. Obviously, he's been really expensive so far. A loopy ball and beating Sajid completely. I think, again, this might be, a good stage for, Kevin or some of the other bowlers who have struggled today to come and, get a couple of overs in without going for a lot of runs, almost saving their economy for the game. Because I think Sajid's going to struggle a little bit as he gets used to the conditions. And as the game proceeds, we have seen that the ball keeps a little bit low, especially for the slower bowlers. Not a lot of consistent bounce in the second innings during these evening games in Kuwait. I think that's just because of the way the pitches perform, isn't it, Kritesh?
Yeah, definitely. Like we're talking about putting pressure, I think for any bowler and Royal Lion CC, I would say it is very difficult to put pressure on Ashvik. The way he's playing, the intent, the only way to put pressure on Ashvik will be taking wickets of the non-striker, I would say. Sajid, he has not had a great tournament so far. Since Gujarat have played only 2 games in this particular tournament, in both the games he has had a duck and he was able to score only 13 runs of the other game. So, which means he did not have a great start in this particular tournament, even though his average is more than 20. I think for him to boost his confidence toward this tournament, this game is very crucial. He needs to prove that he is able to bat very well, coming up high in the order. But so far, he hasn't looked positive. Ashvik is the one who is showing a lot of intent. So if you're Royal Lion CC fan, the one thing you need to be concentrating on is taking Sajid's wicket, which is also going to put more pressure on Ashvik because losing the partners is never really a good thing for a batter, I would say.
Yeah,
Let's see
especially when
if
you have
the
a lot of experience, playing with a batsman like that. You almost want to keep maintaining that partnership. You feel comfortable batting with them. They know how you play as well, and they can keep giving you that assistance while you just play your natural game. So I think it's very important for both of them to make sure that they have somebody they can trust at the other end. Sajid obviously new to the crease, struggled with the first couple of balls that he faced, but he'll probably just want to get his eye in, read the pitch, and then play his game from there. Do you
So
think?
Manoj comes for the second over. He is the one who has taken the wicket in the previous over, controlled them for just 10 runs. So do you think we might be expecting a wicket in this over again, Gokul, with Sajid struggling out there?
I think Sajid's goal is to get Ashfaq on strike, and he's done really well in the first ball to just get that out of the way. I think as long as you can do that, you're going to be in a comfortable position for the rest of the over. The important thing for a person like Sajid now is to make sure that he doesn't really waste any balls, trying to play blind slugs. We have seen that happen a few times, and that all obviously almost puts a little bit more pressure on Ashfaq to score big when he does bat.
I
As long
think
as
Ashfaq is refusing for a single there, Gokul. Do you think it is a positive picking from him? I
I think
There was
I
an
think
easy single opportunity. I think
yeah,
he wanted to keep the strike.
I think he wants to get to his 100. He's scored a lot of hundreds in his career in Kuwait so far, and he thinks that this might be a really good opportunity, especially considering that he's the main batsman now. He can almost demand that level of respect while batting. They've already got to 133 just with the loss of 2 wickets in 12.2 overs. He's already at 77 or 40. We initially, had him in for about 40 runs, I think, pre-match. So he's already gone past that initial expectation of ours. He's
Yeah.
really batting well. He's got the confidence, and fair play to him. If he doesn't, want to take that single, why does he have to? He might probably just want to look at scoring in boundaries now. Again, a poor ball dragged down. But Ashfaq not connecting really well. Obviously, there's a fielder at long on who's just going to take care of that
I
for
think they
Manoj.
did they go for a single there?
Yeah, they ran a
Yeah,
single. I
yeah, there,
think
there we go.
it
There we
would be
go.
crazy if they didn't run for that.
Yeah.
But again, the scoring rate hasn't really come down a lot. They're still about 10.5, which is expected post power play. A little bit of a little bit
There
of
we
a
go.
drop.
Sajid also showing some intent over there. I don't think this is what you have been advised to from Ashvik. If you're out there, you don't want your partner to be taking any risks. The role for you is to just rotate strikes and give the strike to Ashvik,
Yeah.
who might be doing the damage. Because that's a very poor delivery from Manoj. We're expecting a lot more from him, even though he has controlled this over very well. I think it is the Ashvik being on strike is putting a lot of pressure on him. Gokul, what do you think? He's just scared to bowl against Ashvik. What if it goes for a boundary?
I
There we go.
think I think we've seen
There we
that
go.
quite a
That's
lot.
that's what he was scared of, Gokul. Oh, that because it's a fielder there, save the boundary, but they get managed to take us 2 runs.
Yeah, I think you almost don't want to bowl on the leg side for somebody who's so strong on the leg side, and that almost makes you want to bowl too far outside off stump. So I think that's something that we've seen quite a lot from bowlers in the competition so far. It's not ideal, obviously. I think the best thing for Mano should do is just bowl naturally, that fourth, fifth stump line, just like that we've seen there. Make the batsman fetch, try to play that shot, and obviously you might end up getting lucky with a lofted shot, which
It's
can field us in the
a good
boundary.
batting from Ashvik. Takes a single and keeps the strike for the next over. I think if you are Ashvik, and I think the mindset is that if this continues, Ashvik might be facing a lot of balls from now on. He must be facing around 3 or 4 balls in an over. Gokul, what do you think? That must increase more run scoring probability from Ashvik, and that also means that Sarge is just not gonna face a lot of balls, and he might not be able to increase his average in this tournament.
Definitely, we got Kevin coming back into the attack. Obviously, he's only got the 1 over left. He probably wants to finish the innings for himself on a positive note by not giving away a lot of runs. But it's going to be difficult considering that Ashfaq was the batsman on strike for this first ball. Again, a short ball, he fetches it, and I think
Because
there
that's
is
a
a
great
fielder
shot.
there. It's just gone over him. The fielder does make an effort, but unfortunately, there's just a little bit too much on the shot there from Ashfaq to take it over that fielder for a six. Obviously, he's getting closer and closer to his century, and that's going to do him a lot more when it comes to confidence. He almost knows that he's going to take everybody on. Gogri asked, "What's your problem with good Jews?" I think Pyro just backed the Royal Lions to win the game at a really low percentage. Gogri, I think that's the reason.
That's very brave attempt from Pyro to be backing Royal Lions when
I
they are
mean,
at just 8%.
yeah, but again, that's probably when you do want to back and hope for a miracle again.
We have
He's not
another
going to be
question on the
happy
chat,
with
Gokul.
that.
Sorry to cut you. We have a question on the chat that is Daljit asking, "Kaun sa match hai ye?" I think this is Falcons Champions Trophy, brother. We are covering it live from Sulaiba ground, Kuwait.
Yeah.
So if you want to watch this game, we have a comment pinned on this chat. Feel free to click on the link and it'll take you to Cricket Launch TV where you get to see the action live.
And just as Kritesh said as well, Daljit, if you click on that link, it'll take you to the cricketlaunch.tv website where we cover quite a lot of games, predominantly from the three Falcons Championship trophy leagues that's happening in Kuwait. There's obviously the Premier Division, the Gold Cup, and the Silver Cup. Again, this game is the only game that's live from the competition today, but we'll also cover all of the games that will be played during the rest of the week. So feel free to save that link in your browser. Obviously, you'll be able to join in and watch with us on YouTube as well for commentary. But unfortunately, we can't share the actual match live on YouTube. But if you click on that link, you can watch in HD, ad-free, and it is also the fastest stream in the world for this competition. We also have a lot of exciting games, maybe even a couple of international games that we are trying to arrange for you guys on cricketlaunch.tv. So please feel free to click on the link and save it in your browser as well for future games. Again, probably another poor over from Kevin.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to that, Google.
Wayward
Kevin,
balls.
yeah, very differentiating line from him. He's not had the best line so far in this particular over. Maybe that's the last ball from this. It's
Yeah.
very high up in the air. Do you think it will find way to the boundary? No, there's no fielder there.
It's almost a top edge,
There's
but
no
because of
man's
the
land.
wild
Yeah.
swing, it's almost taking the ball, to the boundary. But there's a fielder who's just gonna, limit that to a single. Kevin's probably gonna be happy that it didn't go for any more runs. Obviously, it's not a good ball to bowl to someone like Sajid who loves to take you on the leg side. 41 runs in the 4 overs that he's bowled so far. Ashfaq on fire, obviously. 92 or 48. He has, slowed down a little bit almost, but you don't really care when he scored that many runs
Definitely.
that quickly.
Guys, please feel free to click the link. We might be seeing an exciting century from Ashfaq in this coming over.
Yeah.
Even though Sajid is facing the strike, we know what his role is. He might be trying to rotate the strike, giving it to Ashfaq. We might be seeing an exciting century from Ashfaq this over. Please don't miss it, guys. Please click on the link. We have Manoj bowling this over. Do you think it might be difficult for Ashfaq to get to century if Manoj is bowling. Even though his previous over was not great, he had taken a wicket in the first over, but he did not perform well in the previous over. Let's see what he has
I
got to
think
do in this
Gogrik is
over.
testing your Gujarati skills there, Kritesh. Do you want to respond to that?
Sorry, I'm not quite sure. I don't know anything in Gujarat. Sorry, Gogri. Do you know Gujarati, Gogol, by any chance? Can you talk Gujarati?
I think Cam chose probably the extent of Gujarati that I know. So if anybody is watching who is another Gujarati supporter, there you go, Cam Cho. That's all I have for you. So hopefully you are having a good day there, guys.
Yeah. The win predictor had, the runs prediction had brought it down from 230 almost to 216, Gokul. Do you agree? It might be reducing with the wicket and the way Sajid is playing so
Yeah, I think
far.
Sajid struggled to score. I mean, he's only faced 7 balls, obviously, and that can change very quickly. But he has struggled a little bit to score at that, high rate. I think it's almost important now for him to, help Ashfaq maintain a pretty good scoring rate. I think Ashfaq is going to go a little bit more aggressive once he gets to that personal milestone of his, obviously, only 5 runs away.
Gogri says Majama. I think that is what is there in Ashfaq's mind. Majama, the way he is playing, he's going to get a century, the first century in this tournament for him. That's a very poor bowling from Manoj, but umpire is not convinced. It's not a wide, but it stayed very low.
Sajid just stayed in that position in his guard. He didn't even move. So Prime Cricket Live asks, "What's the score?" It's 154 for two in 14.5. Sorry, 155 for two in 14.5. I think it might be a couple of runs there. There's no fielder. They might actually end up running three, Kritesh. How often do you see that there's no fielder on the fine leg area? I think they ran three
Yeah.
in the end. So it's actually 157 for two after 14.5. Ashfaq on 95 of 50 and Sajid on 9 of 9. Again, Prime Cricket Live. If you want to keep up to date with the score, click on the link in the pinned comment. It takes you to cricketlaunch.tv, which is our website where this game is being streamed for free with no ads. So please feel free to click on that link to watch this game live in HD. Obviously, we have a lot of information on the screen as well for you, including the live updated score. Just to let you know, again, it's the last ball of the over. Ashfaq goes after it. Just going to be a single by the looks of it, and it's going to retain strike. So
I think
96 of 51.
sorry guys, Ashfaq couldn't get century in this particular over, but definitely I'm confident that he'll get to century in the upcoming over. What do you think? It's very good innings from Ashfaq so far, Gokul. 96 of 51. You expect your first half century to be slower and the next one to be faster. But whereas it has been very different here, Ashfaq, he scored 50 very quickly, but after coming out of that 50, maybe losing his partner brought the intent little down, with Sajid still clearly struggling out there.
Definitely. I think
It
that
has
also
made his
comes down
scoring
to the
slower.
understanding that he has with the rest of the batting lineup because obviously he knows how important his wicket is, at this moment in time. He doesn't probably want to, give it
There we go.
away
That's
for.
a new bowler coming at this stage. Gokul, what do you think? Let's see what Nilush has performed so far in his career. Will he be able to take Ashfaq's wicket before he reaches to that century?
No worry, Pyro. Happy that you're enjoying this stream at cricketlaunch.tv. Obviously, guys, keep giving your thoughts to us about the game and how it's gone so far. Obviously, it looks like a very big innings. From a Gujarat CC point of view, they're already at 160. The projected score being 221. I think that's a little bit too optimistic, don't you think, Kritesh? Especially the intent hasn't been the same. I think maybe about 210 is a bit more accurate if you ask me personally.
Definitely, I think 210 easily they'll be able to reach there with only 4 overs left. Wickets in hand. Ashfaq definitely very confident, very positive, showing a lot of intent. I think we might be seeing a century in style the way he is showing his intent. There we go. Is there a it's because of the outfield, it has been very slower.
Yeah.
They're unable to get the force, whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
It's
just a
98
single. I
from
think
53. Yeah.
Ashfaq is denying that second run. Sorry, Ashfaq is denied that second run by Sajid there. So it's just three of the first three balls from Nilush. probably going to be happy enough with the bowling he's done so far. Gogri says with Ashfaq Mia, it is possible. I think with Ashfaq Mia, anything is possible, to be fair. It's a big swipe, no real connection, just going to be the single. And I think he's really lucky even to just get the single. Some runs from that shot. It was a really poor shot from Sajid. He has struggled a bit to get his line and length when it comes to the to read the line and length when it comes to his shot selection so far, hasn't he, Kridesh?
Yeah, definitely. Sajid has not been able to time the shots very well. Ashfaq, we are expecting a century in this over. I think unfortunately we won't be able to see a century in this particular over.
I think
I
he
think they
realized
refuse
there's
to
no
go for a
point on
thing.
going for an aggressive shot. Obviously, we
No,
saw.
we still have the chance, Gokul. They did not go for a single there. Ashfaq is the one facing the last delivery this over.
I, I,
There we go.
I don't think he should take an aggressive shot on now. Almost
Yeah,
ends
he
up
did
chopping
not.
the ball into his own stumps. Obviously, we saw Mohammad Imran going for a 50 in a similar fashion and he ended up throwing his wicket away. I think that's something that he probably wants to
It's
avoid
a,
repeating.
it's a great performance from Nilesh Gokul. I think Nilesh is very great with bowling. If you're a captain, you know Nilesh is a better bowler. You could have brought him very early on in the innings. He's controlling really well. With
Yeah.
the career stats, you see he has played 62 games, 26 innings so far. Over 50 overs he has bowled, and the economy is below 10. That is what you need to be expecting from a bowler at this point.
Yeah.
Keeping the run rate below 10.
I
Trying to
mean, as
keep
a
the run
captain,
rate
you're
below
always
10.
going to be happy if your bowlers are able to, keep the run rate under maybe 8 or 9 post power play.
Mhm.
Especially if they're able to chip in with a couple of wickets. Manoj obviously already getting a big wicket, a little bit loopy. Another interesting ball there. Sajid getting into that front foot, sweeping that ball to the leg side is just going to be that single. I think all of the love that we have seen so far for Ashfaq Mia, it's with Ashfaq Mia, it is possible, and I think we're going to see
I think
a
everybody is
potential
enjoying
100.
the Ashfaq's innings, Gokul. He's keeping us entertaining. He's playing really well. The intent he shows is definitely keeping all the fans entertaining.
I mean,
And even
I've
if you're
been
not a fan
very
of
entertained.
Gujarat CC,
Yeah.
you'll definitely become a fan of him. There we go. The century
He gets
of
his
56 balls.
He
Yeah.
gets probably the fastest century of his career in Kuwait, if I'm not wrong. So it's very, impressive innings from Ashfaq Ahmed. Six fours and 4 6s. Batting at a really, healthy strike rate at 178. Obviously, he does enjoy batting at around that 160, 170 strike rate. So he has played his natural game, and it's worked out for him. That ball just not bouncing at all, almost a double bounce, ended up just creeping behind the stumps. I think it's going to be given
And
as
no
a
ball, I
front
think so.
foot no ball. I think we're just going to be waiting for confirmation. There we go. Umpire signals no ball. I think it is a front foot no ball that is given in the end. Very late call from the umpire for that front foot. It was almost after the ball was returned to the bowler Manoj that the umpire signaled the no ball. So I think if you guys are watching the stream with us now, give us your predictions on what this outcome is going to be. Do you think,
I think definitely it's going to be 6, Gokul. Definitely I'm 6 here.
especially
But
to
is anything
Ashfaq?
else? Oh, that's a great ball from Manoj.
It's a flighted
Definitely.
Yorker. I think Pyro also said that's going to be a 6. So unfortunately, I think he's jinxed you there, as he's been jinxing everybody for the past couple of days. I think that's an unfortunate end. But again, I really hope that you guys are watching the live stream right now. Obviously, it is free to watch. If you click on that link in the chat box, it's the pinned comment. Again, it looks like it's going to be a very exciting end to this innings. 168 for 2 with 3.3 overs left. Ashfaq on 102 steps out, ends up not timing it really well. So it's just going to be the single. They might actually go for the second run, but I think they do end up getting the second run. 46 of 35. This partnership so far, Kritesh. So not ideal considering how the previous partnership went, but you're not going to complain if you're a Gujarat CC fan. Obviously, at the end of the day, the important thing is that you're able to maintain.
Oh, that's a very bad ball.
Yeah, that's
That's gone
definitely a
straight to the
no ball.
Ashfaq's face. I think that's out of the frustration. Mana just bowled that.
Somehow it doesn't go for a 4, it just slows down before the boundary ropes.
It's
Ends
all
up being
because
another
of
2.
the slow
So
outfield.
second no ball in the over, Kritesh. You're not going to be happy if you're the captain. Last thing you want to do is give extras and give the batsmen extra opportunities to score runs. Is there going to be a different outcome for this no ball? We'll just have to wait and see.
I think definitely it should be a different outcome. Ashfaq is facing it. It should be a 6. Let's see. That's another no ball. But I think this no ball has utilized it very
Yeah,
well,
I
and it
think
has gone for.
Mano just lost all
It's been a
bearings. I
four.
think he's looking at his guard as well. I think his he's not happy with himself. He has been asked to stop bowling by the umpire. Obviously, it's the second beamer in the over. Ashfaq obviously taking advantage of it this time. It does go for a 4-1 bounce over the ropes. So not quite the prediction from Pyro this time, but at least a little bit closer than his
He gets
previous
the boundary.
prediction. Again, wavered. Third no ball of the over. Second for the height. I think obviously a little bit of dew possible now in Kuwait because of the heat in the evening period. But again, that's inexcusable for a spinner to bowl three balls in an over, Kritesh. That is unacceptable. Obviously, one was given as a late front foot no ball. I think that was a bit unfortunate. I don't think the umpire quite got it correct there. I think it might have been a little bit behind the line, but the second and third no ball again inexcusable for
There we
a
go. That's
spinner to be
a new
bowling.
bowler. Dilip bowling the no ball. Ashfaq facing it. Is it connected very well?
I think there is a
There's a fielder
fielder
there. He was
there
unable
to
to
cover
get the
it.
boundary.
But again, he's not really going to complain. It's going to be another couple of runs, a very expensive over so far, and they still have a ball to go. I think that initial prediction that we had for about 230 still in the cards. Kritesh, do you think with the way they're
Yeah,
bowling now? Dilip, obviously the one who's
definitely.
called
It's
in
a
to cover the last two balls. He went 18 for the 18 earlier on, so he's not going to be happy. Another wayward ball down the leg side, but ends up not getting a lot of bat. The inside edge probably not enough for it to go for a four, but they're going to run another two. How often do you see this, Kritesh? Five
definitely. This
twos
is
in an
what
over.
exactly what I was wanted to talk about. Gokul. Their running between wickets has been the great so far. You don't see batsmen going for 4, 5 twos in an over. Definitely great stamina. It's outstanding from Ashfaq, I
Yeah,
would say. After
20
facing
runs of the
63
overs,
balls,
Kritesh. 23
yes,
runs of the over.
23 runs of the
Sanju
over.
Khan asks who will win. I think from this point, Sanju, the only prediction that I can say is Gujarat CC. Do you think that's going to
Otherwise,
be?
no. Otherwise, no, Gokul. It's only Gujarat CC. There's no otherwise, I would say.
Yeah,
The
I
way
think
they have performed so far, with
I
three
think
overs to go, with Ashfaq
8%,
still in.
8%
Yeah,
for Royal Lions being the prediction. Still, basically, just coming down to the fact that they slowed down a little bit, post that second wicket. But
there we go,
since
Gokul. As
then,
you talk, that's high
it's
up
been
in the
one-way
air.
traffic. I think
That's a
that's a
very
six, Kritesh.
bad. That's a very bad performance from the
The
fielder. I think he
fielder,
was able to catch it, but
yeah, I think the fielder
he couldn't
initially
push
thought
himself
that
well.
he might be in the game there, almost just like a meter over his head. In the end, it was really high. It didn't really go as far as what we initially thought it was going to go, but in the end of the day, that's another six, and it looks like Gujarat CC one-way traffic, Kritesh. And I think that 230
Definitely.
score is still on the cards.
There we go.
Uh,
That's again high up in the air. That's another six, I think. Very huge six. We saw Neelish perform very well in the previous over, control them very well for just 4 runs. But coming out this over, it's not been the best so far.
I think it's
Given two
also
boundaries for the first two balls.
unfortunate bowling to somebody like Sajid who was struggling initially, but he's set himself up really well now. He scored only
I
six of
think
six. Sorry, he scored 3 of 6 initially, but he's got to a quick 24 of 14, and obviously he's supporting Ashfaq really well. Obviously taking a little bit of that pressure off Ashfaq. Let's see if he can get a Yuvraj Singh back-to-back sixes. He steps out, connects poorly in the end. It's just one. Obviously, yesterday we saw there was a couple of overs where there were 4 or 5 sixes back to back. Dakmore asks, "By शुरुआत करेगा अच्छी Royal." I don't think. I mean, if you're comparing the two teams, I don't think Royals are going to have as good a start as the Gujarat CC. I think there was a drop catch there, so that's a reaction from Sajid. He's very, he wasn't expecting there to be a drop catch, but I don't think there's going to be a good, reaction from Royals. Their batsmen have
We have
struggled.
discussed about this before as well, Gokul, with the batting lineup for both the teams.
Mhm.
Definitely, Gujarat CC have got the better batting lineup,
Yeah,
with two batters being on the top five in the particular tournament for the
yeah.
highest scoring runs. So definitely,
My prediction is
from
probably around
Royal,
like
yeah.
150 for the inning score for Royals. So we'll just have to wait to see if that's accurate. Obviously, they're chasing a massive score. There's going to be it's
That's
another
why.
wide ball. So there's going to
I
be
think that's the mind games played from Sajid. The way he made a step that made Nilush think. that he might be stepping out of the crease,
Yeah.
making an opportunity for stumping. He bowled it
Yeah.
wide. It did not work out very well for him. If you are
That's
Nilush,
another big shot
that's
there
a
is a
wicket,
fielder who's
Sajid.
going to get the wicket. So the wide actually ending up in Neelish's favour. He does finish his second over with a wicket. So unfortunate for Sajid, he almost mistimed that shot. Partnership ends after 73 or 45 balls. Really good partnership for Gujarat CC, but it has come to an end. I still think we are
Definitely,
looking at
Sajid
another
was.
20 runs in the last 2 overs at least with Ashfaq still batting. So for Royals to chase 220, I think there's a lot of pressure. I think they're going to try to go really hard in the power play, and my prediction is that they're going to end up losing wickets early on, and they might end up losing too many too quickly, and I think they'll end up at maybe around 150, 140. So we just have to wait and see. So again, just to compress all of that into a statement that more, I don't think the Shuruwaat for Royals is going to be good. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, there's still quite a lot of cricket left in this match. 2 overs to go in this innings. Again, I would
It's
strongly recommend.
Mohammad Moyes coming in.
Yeah,
He's not a very experienced batter, very similar performance when compared to Sajid.
yeah, but I
He's
think
played only
his
47
intent now
games. Yeah,
probably is obviously going to be to give as
very
many
high.
balls to Ashvik as possible
Ashfaq
to
as
face.
possible. Yeah, I completely agree to that, Gokul.
Yeah,
I think, as you mentioned earlier about the Shurwat for Lions, if you're someone if your team is going to be chasing 200 plus runs, that obviously means you need to start going from very first ball. There is no time. You can't waste even a single ball. That also comes with the cost of your wicket, because if you're going to take risky shots earlier on in the innings, that means there's high probability for losing wicket as well.
definitely.
So
I think
it's going to
Pyro
be very
asks, is
difficult for.
150 too low for that second innings? What is your opinions there, Kritesh? Because obviously I made my opinions very clear.
Yeah, I think 150 is a decent score for Royal Lions. With them chasing 200 plus runs, they need to go very harder. That also means wickets. So there is a good chance that they might be scoring even lesser than 150, I would say, if they lose wickets early on in the innings. If they score somewhere about 60 plus or closer to 60 in the power play, then the chances of them scoring more than
Yeah.
150 or 170 is definitely in the cards.
But I think again it just depends on how deep that batting lineup is. I
That's a
don't think.
bad shot from Ashfaq, did not place it very well. Oh my god, that's a bounce from Nilush's hand, passing it to the other player.
We've seen
It was like a volleyball.
exactly, Kritish. I was just about to say we've seen a lot of football skills in the competitions from some of the fielders, but for the first time we're seeing some
Volleyball
volleyball,
skill.
almost like a setter in a volleyball team. He almost scoops it back in the air for for his fellow fielder to take the catch, but unfortunately for Nilesh, he wasn't able to get any control over the recoil, and Ashfaq ends up getting another life with 8 balls to go. It might, sorry, 9 balls to go. It might be a little bit of a.
That's Moyes getting lucky there because the edge ball going towards the fine leg. There is no
Yeah.
fielder. Even though there was a fielder, he wasn't able to reach there.
Yeah. I think we see that a lot, don't we? Batsmen showing a lot of intent when they come to bat later on in the innings, throwing their bat really hard at the ball and ending up getting runs
I think
because
at
of those
this
edges.
point for Moyes coming at 18th over with still wickets in hand, there is no need for him to like play conservative. I think every ball for him is going to be more like a free hit delivery. He's going to go for every ball. We
Yeah,
might be seeing a lot of swings from Moyes, I would think. With
definitely.
Ashfaq, he's only going for the balls where he's very confident that he might be timing it very well. Whereas for Moyes, I think he just has to swing the ball. If he gets it, it's a bonus. If he doesn't, it's okay with wickets in hand.
Yeah, I think almost every ball from them now is a bonus. They're probably looking at 230 if Ashfaq can face quite a lot of these balls towards the end of the innings. But again, it just depends if he goes for a single in the last ball, or if he just wants to try to take the bowler on. Obviously, he
Yeah.
does have this ball now to just chase after the bowler. Gogrias, do you think Guju will cross 220? I think initially
Very,
our
very
prediction
easily, I
was
would say.
around 230. So I think that's a good ball from Dilip. Probably going to be a single. Ends up being overthrows, which is obviously really poor fielding from both the fielder and the keeper. They're
I think
actually
they're
going to
going
run
for a third
three.
run.
Yeah, they actually end up running three, maybe going for four as well.
Four runs. Oh my
So
God.
instead
How
of
often do you see 4 runs
very
between
rarely,
the
Kritesh.
wickets?
So That's something that we saw yesterday. There was a hit wicket. Today we've seen a spinner bowl, two beamers and three no balls, and now we get to see 4 runs being ran in a single delivery. Obviously, that also
Guys,
brings the
lot of that's what guys. There's a lot of exciting things happening in this particular tournament. So please join the stream.
and again, just as I was about to say, that was the third four in the over, and that brings down the Royal Lions CC percentage to just 4% when it comes to their win probability. And I think Gogari, as you mentioned, 220 just looks very easy at this point because of how poor the bowling and fielding
I
has
think
been.
they might be aiming for 230. I would say Gokul.
I think 18
230 is
runs from
still
now
very
is
easy.
very likely. I think there was a little bit of an inside edge there for
Edge from the
Ashfaq,
pad, yeah.
saving him. It's going to be 1 run added onto the score,
Good
213.
good thinking from Ashfaq keeps the strike
Yeah.
for the last over.
Yeah, 213 for 3 after 19 overs. Ashfaq got 1, 2, 3 off 69. So quite a lot of interesting numbers being thrown around there. Projected score is actually 225. I think if Ashfaq faces at least 5 of these balls, you might be looking at something maybe close to 230. But again, it might also just be that he's getting a bit tired towards the later half of this innings. Now, don't you think, Kritesh? I think he struggled a bit to go at like that aggressive strike rate towards the later half, especially after the loss of that first wicket. But I think his intent has still been there. It's just that he's not been able to connect with as many balls as he would have wanted.
Definitely, Gokul. I think he's outstanding. The stamina which he's got is also very outstanding. We have seen him go for a lot of twos. He has gone for
Yeah.
4 runs between the wickets
Yeah.
after facing 69 balls from a very early on in the innings, scoring 123 runs. Still staying very confident. He doesn't seem to be tiring at all.
So
There we
really
go.
good
That's
Yorker
a
from
great
Bassett there.
swing, but good bowling from Bassett, I would
Yeah,
say.
I think the wicketkeeper coming up to the stumps for the medium pacers just to prevent Ashfaq from using his feet, stepping down. Obviously, we've seen that happen quite a lot over the course of his innings, where he's almost charged down the wicket to take on the bowler, regardless of the bowling style. Bassett to bowl his second ball. A little bit
There we
better
go. That's
connection
high up in
there,
the
and he's
air.
middled it for
That's another
6, not
4.
just
I think
one
that's a
bounce 4.
4.
Yeah, so it's a 1 bounce 4. So there you go. He's just 3 runs away from that 220 target with
220,
4
yeah.
balls to still go in the over. And I think our prediction of 220 to 230 is going to end up somewhere in between. Probably around that 225 mark is accurate from from where we are now. I think that 4% likelihood for the Royal Lions to win this game is still a little bit too optimistic if you're being honest. But I think that just comes down to the fact that we've seen a lot of incredible chases in the tournament so far. I think it's a mistimed shot. They're probably going
I
to
think
run
they might
hard.
be going for 2.
Yeah, I think the
Let's see.
non-striker took off very quickly there. The fielding effort
Definitely,
there
that's a good chance.
is really poor. So it's a
They could have gone for
comfortable
a
doing
2, but yeah, they were gone for a 2 there. That's poor fielding. This is what we were talking about, local. A lot of poor fielding so far in this particular tournament. Lots of dropped catches, overthrows. This is what you should be avoiding. These overthrows, dropped catches, definitely is going to cost you 20 runs at least
I
in
mean,
this
just to let
tournament.
you guys know as well, as we come towards the later half of this innings, as you can see a dot ball from Bassett, that's been very rare. I've just put the link as well for cricketlaunch.tv in the chat box once again, just to make it easy for you guys if you're watching it on YouTube to watch the stream live along with us. Obviously, it's a free stream. It is also in HD and it is ad free. It is the fastest stream in the world for this match, as well as the competition in Kuwait. How have Royal Lions been till now in the tournament? Again, it's still early on in the tournament, but their performances haven't been flattering, and I think that's been an understatement from both mine and Kritesh's end. As a team, they haven't really gelled well, and I think that's visible in their performance today as well. Don't
Yeah.
you think, Kritesh?
I would say I think they need to focus more on their bowlers. I don't think there is a great bowling lineup. They need to bring in spinners who can control very well. That is what you should be focusing on in this particular tournament, because we see there is a lot of turn on this particular pitch. Oh, there we go. That's very high up in the air.
Yeah,
Do you
Ashfaq's
think
middle there. I think that has to be
6? That's a
another
huge
6.
6.
Yeah, another
There we
6.
go.
So
230 has been crossed, Gokul, I think.
I mean, we
They
did
crossed
predict
230.
something, like this was going to happen. If you bowl full to Ashfaq, doesn't matter how long he's been batting, no matter how hard the conditions are, he is going to take the bowler on. And our prediction of 230, I think, has ended up coming accurate, guys. If you want to get accurate predictions, I think the right man to ask is Kritesh. He did say 2:30. I think after the second or third over, he estimated that 2:30 was on the cards today. So as he predicted, they've got to 231 for just the loss of 3 wickets, thanks to an incredible batting performance from Ashfaq, who scored 141 in just 75 balls, as well as Imran, who got to a very quick 46 of 29, and a lot of assistance from that. Quick cameo from Sajid, who scored 25 of 16. I think the bowling performance overall has been really poor. Quite a lot of bowlers used. I think 7 bowlers in total, especially thanks to the unfortunate 3 no balls in the over from Manoj, who wasn't able to complete his spell. Everybody being expensive, especially Dilip in his 2.2 overs, and ending up giving away 36 runs. That's an economy of 15.45, which obviously is never useful when you're trying to get some control over the innings. Probably the best bowler of the day, I think, has to be Nilesh. He ended up getting a key wicket, only going for 19 in his 2 overs. I know that is expensive. That is the best economy, unfortunately, for the Royal Lions in today's game. Obviously, they ended up getting a really good start in the power play, getting a wicket for just 8 runs early on in the power play, but they couldn't really capitalize on that, and it's been a really difficult innings for them to get any control over. Obviously, we're going to go into the break now. Hope you guys take this time to get yourself a drink, maybe relax a little bit. I think we have an exciting second innings. You never know, Kritish. We have seen a couple of incredible run chases in the tournament so far. So if the game goes close, I think it's going to be an incredible game to watch. Hopefully,
And if the Royal Lions manage to chase it, this will be the highest run chase so far in this particular tournament. So, guys, stay tuned in to see if they are able to chase it or not.
yeah,
We'll
definitely.
catch you in a couple of minutes.
Gogari says
Thank
Ashfaq
you.
scores more than 50% of the team runs. I think
Definitely.
he's utilized this opportunity, and I think he's really happy with the way the game's gone so far for him. Let's have a look to see if he's able to provide some assistance with the ball and in the field as well. So again, we're going to go for a quick break, guys, and we hope to catch you guys soon as well for the second innings action. So don't go anywhere. See you guys soon.
Hello guys, welcome back to the crazy start from Gujarat CC, and we might be expecting great chase from Royal Challengers, sorry, Royal Lions CC, sorry, if they were to chase 231. Sorry, the target is 231. They have to score 232. If they do it, this will be the highest chase in so far in this particular tournament. We had a lot of Gujarat's fans so far in this chat. So let's see if they're still there. Guys, please feel free to click on the link and join the action. It is starting soon. It's Asad bowling against Viraj and Manoj. Manoj, we saw great bowling performance from him. It was not the best so far, but it's a bad start from Asad. And I don't think there is no pressure for the bowlers. They've scored 231. They can defend the score quite comfortably.
Yeah.
But
I think regardless of that, that's not what you want to do in your first over, give away extras like that. So I think regardless of what, the score is that you have to defend, there is still a level of, accuracy you need to have with your bowling. Asad obviously not getting his line correct quite there in the first ball, obviously going down a bit too much on the leg side. Viraj getting off strike. I think it's going to be given as runs. No, it's given as leg by. So it's just coming off the pads. I think it might have ended up clipping the pads on the way. So Viraj still not able to get off strike.
after the great performance from Ashfaq in the first innings, he has climbed to the first place in highest scorers in this particular tournament with 268 runs. Gokul.
Yeah.
We see Viraj, who faced the first ball. He is seventh on the list.
Yeah.
So we might expect him to climb up the ladder as well if he has a great
I think
innings.
that's another leg by Kritesh. So 3 runs, but not a single one off the bat so far. What does a batsman have to do to get some runs today, Kritesh?
Nothing. You just kick the ball and take the runs.
Why not? I think a lot of the fielding football skills now transferring over to the batting as well.
Batting football skills, yeah.
The next thing we might have to see is if there's any volleyball skills. It's a pretty cold, chill day in Kuwait. Obviously, a lot of the players with their jackets on, but still overall pretty good conditions for some cricket. As there's
Good
a
bowling
slip in
again
place, just
from
going to be a
Asad.
top ball. So Viraj still unable to get off the mark.
Yeah, I think he's just taking his time to get settled. He has the pressure to climb up the ladder for the highest scorer in this tournament as well. He's staying sixth position until now. We saw great performance from Ashfaq, making him top place in the highest scorer.
Yeah.
Let's see what Asad. He's definitely playing bowling really well, Gokul. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's a great shot. As we talk about the great bowling skills, it ended up going for a boundary. Did not work out very well from Asad.
But you can't be bowling there in the power play, can you, Kritesh? If you bowl that far down leg, it's a pretty easy, shot for a batsman to just flick you over that field at, backward square leg position. Obviously, not a lot of cover on the leg side anyway for
Yeah.
more spaces in the power play. So it's not
But this is
ideal
what
for Viraj.
we have been talking about in the first innings as well. You need to have a deep square there like not only during power play, you need him throughout the game, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the main place where you see them scoring mostly.
Don't you think it's
These
also important
most
to
of the
not be
batters,
bowling on that leg side, Kritesh, just to
yeah,
get
yeah,
your line
definitely.
correct? Especially when you have a
Definitely.
slip. There's no point if you keep a slip and then bowl that far down leg side. Now Pyro asks power play expectation. I think that was towards you, Kritesh. So I'll just let you answer that question.
I genuinely think it's going to be 45 plus runs, 45 to 50, I would say, the way they're batting. Asad is not a very experienced bowler. He has played only 13 games. His
Yeah.
economy is about 9. So you definitely expect him to bowl few loose balls with lack of experience. That is what we saw so far in this first over.
Yeah.
But he's not given a lot of runs. That is still positive on his side. Just one boundary. Uh, so we might be expecting the way they're playing about 45, 46 runs for the power play.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that as well, Kritesh. Obviously, the experience and the quality of the bowlers obviously determine how they're able to have a control over the innings. And now, after going for a few runs in the beginning of your spell, you're going to be under a little bit of pressure. The last thing you want is to give away any more runs to the opening batsmen. Get them set. Obviously, you saw how difficult it was once the opening players got a little bit of a momentum in their game in that first innings. They were able to punish the even the more experienced bowlers later on. So Viraj, got off to a decent enough start, got a boundary to almost get himself settled in. And now probably want to show that intent going forward as well during the rest of the power play. Gregorias,
What is the required run rate? I think it is definitely 12.
it's
More than 12 is what you
no, I
should
think
be.
it's the required run rate I think is 11.8 at this
Points.
moment in
Yeah.
time, and the current run rate obviously only being 8 after that first over. Not ideal though, Krithesh. You want to probably get off to a really good start. Maybe you could maybe even afford going a bit aggressive early on, because why not? If you want to chase a target
I
that is
think
down,
if you want to chase a target like this, you need to have a partnership very similar to Imran and Ashwik from the first innings. Very
yeah,
dominating partnership from them, putting so much pressure on the bowlers.
yeah.
In fact, going against every bowler whoever came to bowl. I don't know quite sure why Manoj had come in, because him being the captain, I think he wanted to come early on, try to show his captaincy by batting. He doesn't have a great career stats from batting. His
Yeah.
averaging is below 20. So I think he might be out there trying to give some confidence and some guidance to Viraj, who
Yeah.
has been the leading scorer for this team.
I think Viraj obviously a little too excited there. Obviously, Hasib not really getting his line correct. Obviously, it's a very floated, slower ball. It was really wide, but Viraj ended up fetching it and almost, ended up saving Hasib from having to bowl an extra ball on the over. Left arm pace, obviously, really good cover drive over the infield, and another boundary for Viraj. So that's an excellent shot from Viraj, and that's going to give him a lot of confidence. We have seen over the last couple of games there's a big change of scoring style. We did see a lot of sixes in that first few games for each teams, but over the last week I would say we've seen a massive increase in the number of boundaries being scored in each innings. Again, just so that you guys are aware, the Sulabiya ground here in Kuwait, obviously not the biggest ground in size. The square boundaries being a little bit a little bit smaller in length than the straight boundary. So that's why you see a lot of runs being scored on the leg side, in that deep square leg region. Now, if you guys are joining us for the first time for this game, just feel free to click the link on the pinned comment in the chat. It'll take you to the cricketlaunch.tv website where you can watch this game live in HD.
I think there might be a no ball there, Gokul. That was not a great
I think
delivery
it's
from
just
Hasib.
given as a single in the end. I think the dip in the
Yeah.
end just saving him in that instance. Again, just to let you guys know as well, this is the fastest stream in the world for this competition, and for quite a lot of the other games that we cover in the GCC as well. So if you are interested in keeping up to date with a lot of these games, please feel free to click the link in the chat and bookmark it in your browser, and you'll be able to watch all of these games live as Hasib was the first wide of the over. Again,
Not a great bowling from Hasib so far, I would say, Gokul. He
definitely.
hasn't got the line what he must be thinking about. We saw a lot of bowlers bowl exactly towards the offside, controlling, making it difficult for the batters to score. I think that is what he's trying to get, but it did not work out very well for him. Bowling one full toss and
Yeah.
another wide so far
But
in
I think
this
again,
in
you
this
can't really,
over.
even if you want to bowl on the offside, Kritish, I don't think you can bowl really full. Ends up being another leg by. So I think it's the third leg by of the innings so far. Quite
I
a
think
lot.
Manoj, if you're someone who want to back Manoj's runs, I would say it's clearly below 10, I would say, Gokul. What do you think? Below 10, 11?
Yeah,
The
I
way
think
he's batting is
even
definitely
10
poor
for
performance.
Manoj now is a bit too generous. He's not been able to get any bat on ball. Obviously he wants to show his team what he's capable of as a captain, but it doesn't look like it's been a smart decision for him to come out. Maybe he just wants to make sure that they face the key bowlers off early on, but they haven't really bought their key bowlers so far. Again,
So far.
maybe that's probably the reason why, because he's got some connection on the bat there. Ends up getting the first boundary of his innings as well, so that's going to do him a lot of confidence now. Obviously, again, I don't agree with the choice that he's made, sending himself to open the partnership, but maybe that's almost the intent, that you want to keep your key players still available even if wickets fall, and you want to go and play without a lot of fear early on in the power play, take the bowlers on, try to clear the infield, and I think the positive start from these two batsmen now, along with the poor bowling so far with a lot of leg byes and extras, ends up almost working in their favor here for Royal Lions. Obviously, I still think their innings now probably in for another 170. I think probably is a fair enough line for them now, but it depends on if they're able to keep wickets towards the innings. And I think once the key bowlers for the Gujarat CC team start bowling, I think they're going to struggle a little bit more, especially considering that they have a lot of good spin options to come later on as well. But the wicket overall, do
Definitely,
you
they
think
have a
has looked really good to bat on today? I think so far so good. No
yeah.
balls
I
staying staying really
lower.
low.
Yeah, definitely, Gokul. I agree to that. We saw from the first innings that it was a road for the batsmen to bat.
Yeah,
Very, very good bounce, easy to judge as well. Uh, it is usually during the second innings of the evening game, we saw the ball was staying low. There was a great spin. It was being very difficult for the batsman to judge it, but I don't think it is staying low so far. Maybe at least for the first few overs, it has been really good for you to bat. Uh, as you mentioned, Gokul, they have got Gujarat CC have got Ilyas Mohal, who is the leading wicket taker for the team. If they bring in him early on, I think that's what they should be thinking of, bringing the best bowler early on in the innings,
yeah.
trying to take wickets, putting pressure. Um, because already Royal Lion CC are under great pressure of to reaching the target of 232. So if you bring your best bowler early on, that is the best choice you will do. There we go. Good bowling from Asad, good recovery from the first over.
I think Manoj is struggling now, isn't he? Anything that's on his pads, he just
Yeah.
hasn't been able to, take advantage of it. I
I
think,
think if you're a bowler, if you bowl straight to the stumps, you'll definitely get his wicket. Gokul. What do you
yeah, I
think?
think it's almost you miss, I hit at this
Yeah,
point with Manoj. And I also don't think Manoj is the kind of batsman who's able to, rotate, strike easily. I think you're
uh,
looking at, boundaries or wickets at
very
this point.
very brave act of him, Manoj stepping out of the crease.
Yeah.
But great recovery from Asad as well, bowling a very
Yeah, I
great
mean,
bouncer.
I think the last thing you want to do is, step out that early. You almost give the bowler enough time to, rethink the strategy when it comes to the ball. And obviously, Asad, going very direct, very straight at a good pace. He hasn't really gotten a lot of movement. I think with his action, he's not going to get a lot of movement either. But this is really poor from Manoj. Viraj
I
is
think
also going to be upset.
Viraj is definitely upset. We can see
Yeah.
the frustrations he's showing towards Manoj.
Yeah, they're just
Manoj is
basically
trying to
asking to
swing.
play on the offside because obviously
Yeah,
that far out of the third or fourth stump line, sorry, fourth or fifth stump line, the last thing you want to do is try to hook that ball onto the leg side.
to the leg side. Yeah.
So I think Manoj needs to make better choices when it comes to shot selection, but I feel that's something that he might be able to do with time. Again, that's a better shot, a good reply from Manoj. To Viraj, obviously, he's just saying, listen, in the end of the day, I'm the captain. You don't tell me what to do. But there is
I
a
think that is the
fielder.
mindset for Manoj. That will definitely agree to that. I think it is the pressure which is being built on for him. He's faced 9 balls so far, unable
Yeah.
to do what he was supposed to do. That's what brings the negative thoughts of just swinging bats all around, ending up losing the wicket. As a captain, you should be very calm and composed. Even
Yeah.
though you miss few balls, you need to. Oh my God! Did you see the shot, Gokul?
That's a
Perfect
very
timing.
creative
That's
shot. I
a
think
good
it's very
shot.
risky considering that the ball had a little bit of movement back into the stumps, and he ended up playing it really late. Obviously, no fielder at third man, no fielder in that gully position either. So a lot of reward, very less risk. Ends up getting a boundary. So very creative shot. Manoj, what is this behavior? Says Gogari, and Manoj Laddu batsman says Pyro Legion. I mean, it's a
A lot
bit
of
it's a bit harsh on
it's a
the
bit
batsman
harsh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Come on, guys. He's the captain. He's leading Gujarat CC. Sorry, Royal Lion CC.
You're getting confused
You know
between the teams there, Kritesh.
the. Yeah,
It's not a wild swing from
that's
Viraj. I think you almost
that's a
get
wild swing.
4 runs of playing a creative sensible shot. Why try to swing for the next ball? I don't quite understand. But I think
That is the pressure, Gokul. They need to chase 230 runs. There is
yeah,
no balls to waste. You need to utilize every single ball. If you miss a ball, definitely you need to compensate it with a bounty. That is the mindset for the batsmen out there, I would think.
yeah.
That is what making them going for the swing, the wild swing, especially from Manoj. If you're the non-striker batter, I think you might be able to feel the air of the swing which Manoj
It's
has.
getting windy in Kuwait, guys. It's getting windy.
It's very, very
If anybody
windy.
wants a windmill, you you can contact Manoj, because it looks like
Manoj.
he's not going to connect anything anytime soon. Hopefully he can get back to us with a positive
Let's bet on
response this
Manoj for
over.
this over, Gokul. How many swings do you expect from Manoj this over? I'm
I
saying
think
two swings.
if he faces 6 balls, I'm expecting 6 swings, and I think maybe one of them.
Oh, that's a great shot from Manoj. He's proved us wrong.
I think the Dilshan's out, guys. The scoop shot is out. He gets a boundary
I think
of
as a
Hasib's.
captain, he's trying to show Viraj that if you can play creative, I can definitely play better than
Who
you.
wants Surya Kumar Yadav when you got Manoj? I think any IPL teams watching, who was if you missed out on somebody like Brevis, you don't need to worry about it, because you've got Manoj
Manoj.
available for the IPL season. So if any teams, I think Delhi Capitals are looking for a 360-degree player, I think is what the comments were on the Twitter socials for cricket. There you go. You can ask Manoj. He's got you covered there. The Gujus don't take Manoj lightly.
Definitely, I agree to that.
I think we took Manoj lightly, and we found out the hard way that you're not allowed to do that. Manoj replying, in incredible style. Very creative shot again. If you guys didn't see that, please click on the link in the chat box. It takes you to cricketlaunch.tv. Obviously, the game is live. How much Royal CC will score in power play? That's a question that I think our inside analyst Kritesh can answer.
Definitely, I would say I think initially our predictions were 47, 48 runs. The
Yeah.
way these two are playing, I think it might be about 52, 53, Gokul.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. I think it depends on if they're able to not lose any wickets. That shot from Viraj there obviously going to be helpful. They've scored 35, so I think it's gone for 6 all the way. So 35 of 3.5 overs. I think they should be at least
So
aiming
the
for
prediction
another 20
for
runs.
55, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be around 54, 55 from here.
Yeah.
Gurpreet, I would say it is. The prediction for the power play is about 54, 55.
Yeah, I think it's almost a requirement now that they get to that stage. Obviously,
Yeah, definitely.
post power play initially in that first
I
leg,
think even if you plan to reach about 55, you're way out of reach from chasing Gujarat CC,
Yeah.
because they scored about 70 runs in the power play. So you should be aiming 60 plus, but that is not what we are seeing out
I
there.
think the logic should be at least getting 8.5 runs and over from now on. Maybe a little bit more as well. If somebody like Hasib is bowling, who has struggled to find this line or length, I think you definitely look at maybe around 55, maybe even 56, 57 runs in the power play. I think it's fair to say that they're going at a good run rate. I think it's 9.82 so far. Obviously, they still need to score at a higher rate. To
I
keep
think
in mind.
Manoj is going for it again. You get it once, but not twice, Manoj. You
I
can't be
think he's
very
lucky to
creative all
not
the
be
time.
given as a wide there, Haseeb. I think he just went over the wide line. Partnership 36 of 23 obviously so far, and one ball to go in the over. I think as long as there's a legal delivery, the bowling team's going to be happy.
We saw my prediction of one swing, two swing. One
Yeah.
we got it. Let's wait for the last ball to see. I think it might be a swing. It's a bit of a mind
He's
game.
walked halfway down the wicket there, Kritesh. He's basically
I
almost.
think he misunderstood that he was about to face the ball. I think he was walking to the non-striker to talk about what is the kind of play they're planning.
Yeah, I think he got a bit too excited. He's literally walked halfway down the wicket. I think he's taken something of the Brendan McCullum handbook, trying to throw the bowler off his line. And Hasib, obviously a bit confused, ends up, making sure that he doesn't actually deliver the ball. He comes back in, no walking down the wicket now, and it's a good slower ball. Just going to be a single. But again, what did we see there? That's not something that we've seen, I think, ever in my life in cricket. Batsman taking 6 steps almost down to the middle of the wicket. If it was me, I would have just bowled a full toss and seen where it goes, because obviously he's so far down the wicket. Even if you bowl a beamer at his head, it's probably not going to be given as a no ball anyway.
At that point, when you realize that the batsman is walking, you must be playing a catch and catch with your wicketkeeper. Just throw the ball straight to your wicketkeeper and get his wickets.
Yeah, I think very, very brave batting from Manoj so far. It's worked out for him once with the reverse paddle sweep is what I think he was attempting.
I think
there.
that is the only shot which has
Connected.
been positive for him, and it's brought his confidence a little bit.
Yeah.
If he had missed that, then definitely he must
It
be
does look like
frustrated
it's
being
going
a
to be
captain.
Asad back into the bowling lineup again. He's only gone for the 11 runs so far in the power play. I think you probably want to make sure that he bowls another over at least in the power play, just to make sure that they don't get like a bonker score. I think about 55 is still on the cards, as long as Viraj is the one facing as many balls as possible in the next 11 balls. Obviously the current rate is at 8.8. Seems like Viraj and Manoj are competing with each other. I don't think
I
there's a
definitely
competition.
disagree. I
Yeah.
disagree, Gokul. I disagree too, but it's Manoj competing against the world, I would say,
I
the
think
way
Manoj
he's
is
swinging.
competing with himself at this point to try to get some bat on ball. He's moving a lot, but not connecting as much as he wants. Ends up getting
That's
some bat on the ball. There's going to be a single. Manoj wants the two. I think he's feeling it, Kritesh. He wants to, get back on strike. Viraj say, "You've had your chance. You took a single. Let me do what I want to do." Again,
I think that
still
is the
think
first
55
well-timed
is
shot for
probably.
Manoj, I think so, Gokul.
Yeah.
What do you think? That's the first well-timed shot. Clearly, in the previous overs, we saw Viraj indicating Manoj to go for an offside shot,
How many more
but
runs do
he
you think
hasn't
Manoj
shown.
is in for, Kritesh? I think maybe another 6 runs, 7 runs. I can't see this
Six.
guy scoring anything more than that. There's a lot of noise on the bowler. He appeals for a caught behind, but I think the wicketkeeper is telling him go back to the
Uh,
mark, mate. There's nothing on that ball.
I would say for Manoj another 7 or 8 runs, Gokul, maybe 2 runs higher than you. Maybe he's getting lucky with the reverse sweep which we
Yeah,
saw earlier.
I think the
So
gods are
if he
in
gets
favor
another,
with Manoj. Let's have a look. Let's see if Pyro's in favor with Manoj. He usually ends up, jinxing the batsman. He called him a laddu batsman earlier on. I think it's gonna come back to haunt him later on as well. Asad back in as a short ball. Viraj on the back foot, trying to
they're
pull
not
the
connected
ball
very well.
almost, but not connecting at all. So it's just going to be a dot ball. Asad putting a lot of pressure on the batsman so far. I guess just only 2 runs of the over so far. Manoj almost telling his on strike batsman, listen, you should have come back for that second run. I would have hit him for a six. I think it's a bit complicated now for them if they want to chase the score successfully. They have to get going. It's another
Boundary.
short ball. This time pulled away successfully. Viraj saying, "Listen, mate, don't talk too much. I got this." Hits him for a comfortable boundary.
This is what we have been talking about previously, Gokul. If you get 2-3 dots in an over, you need to compensate it with the boundary. If not, you are nowhere reaching the target what you're supposed to reach. I think our initial predictions of 48 or
Yeah.
49. Do you think they'll be able to cross that in the power play, Gokul? Do you think they might be able to
Again,
reach
it
the
just
55,
depends. It
54?
just depends on if Viraj can get a single in this ball and retain strikes. I'm just gonna wait till the end of this ball before I give you my prediction for the end of the power play. I think initially we did think about 55, and I think it's still possible for them to get to 55. There is a boundary in this ball. There is a boundary, I think, by the looks of it.
No.
There's fielder.
There's fielder saved it
Yeah,
just
the
in time.
third one covers it. I think it's
But
probably the
it's
best outcome for them. Giving strike
Viraj
back to
facing the ball.
Viraj for that last over the power play. How come Royals' winning percentage is so low? I think Gagari, the winning percentage is only low because obviously they haven't really shown a lot of depth in their batting so far in the competition, and they are chasing a massive score. If this over went a little bit better for them, I think they might have had a little bit of a uptick in that percentage in their favor. But again, they got a boundary,
I
but it's
think
still just
if they
7
want to
runs in
have
the
an
over.
uptick in that, I think if they want to have an uptick in the percentage, Gokul, I would say they should be aiming for 20 plus runs to manage
At
to
least
get
a couple of
few
overs where they
percentage.
go
Yeah,
over that required rate of 12.8. I think it's at this
yeah.
point is required if they want that percentage to start climbing a little bit in their favor. As you can see, Farhan's coming into the attack now. Obviously, Asad obviously did well enough to maybe stop them from getting to that 55 mark, which we thought was possible at one point. But depends what Farhan is able to do. Number 7, maybe a Ronaldo fan. Let's have a look to see if he's able to live up to the GOAT status for his team. Viraj obviously batting 27 of 16. Royals 43 for no loss after the 5 overs. Again, pretty full
think
ball
that's a good
flighted,
bowling
but there's a fielder there. Obviously, good field
Alright.
placement from the captain, making sure that the pressure stays on. Could be a Tala fan also. Again, I'm not quite sure if Farhan is a Tala fan, but you never know. Everybody's a Tala fan these days. Let's have a look to see if. Again, I don't think Tala was any good with the ball. He does, have a couple of wickets to his name in international cricket. Viraj ending up on the back foot again, trying to get a single. I think he probably has to get a single. Do you think Manoj
Now
can?
it is getting exciting, Gokul. It is captain versus captain. It's Farhan against Manoj. Let's see which captain is better.
I forgot to see Manoj's jersey number there, Kritesh. Just let me know if you take notice of
I
that
think
again.
it still has the 7 on the jersey in Gokul. I think it is 7 versus 7.
That's 7.
Doesn't matter what the second number is.
Tala for a reason.
That's another swing.
Farhan
It's
wins the
getting
first
windy out
battle,
there.
guys. If you're watching this, I think this is probably one of the most entertaining sections of cricket we have covered on cricketlaunch.tv so far. It's captain versus captain Farhan
That's another
versus
swing.
Manoj.
It's getting
I
very
think that might be a
windy.
wide ball, yeah. Manoj almost
That's a
using
one-
his
one
aura,
big
guys,
one.
to force the umpire to give a wide there. I think he was on his knee, almost a proposal from Manoj towards the umpire, asking for that wide ball, and the wide is given. I think the umpire is afraid of what the aura from Manoj can do as a full toss. That's hit towards the leg side. There is a fielder there. It's just going to be a single.
Just a
So
single.
there's still going to be 2 balls
So
in the
the-
over. I think 2 really important balls probably for the Royal Lions.
I think now
probably
the
need a couple
battle-
of boundaries
Mon-
now, don't they?
Gokul, I think Manoj is leading the battle versus captain versus captain. What do you think? He faced 3 balls. One was a wild swing, another was an extra. He managed to that's high up in the air. Do you think there might be a fielder below? That might be a crucial wicket, but unfortunately, they landed in no man's land, Gokul. If they took the Virat's wicket, it's going to be very crucial. It might be a very, how to say, degrading performance from Royal Lions CC because he's the
Yeah.
leading wicket taker. So sorry, leading
Run
scorer,
Yeah,
run scorer.
absolutely. I think there's a lot of
I think that's a
emphasis on
wicket.
the touch.
That's a wicket. That's a wicket.
Oh, what a catch!
Yeah.
Oh, he stopped it. He stopped it, Kritesh. He's
God,
dropped
he's
it.
dropped it.
Manoj hits
My
it
God.
straight back. Manoj, for a reason, says Pyro. The aura means that Farhan is unable to take the catch. I think this might be the worst 13 of 17 I've seen in a long
I think
time.
Manoj
guys.
is very intimidating for Farhan to get
To be
hold of
fair,
the
I
catch.
think Kritesh, if I was a Gujarat CC player, I would drop the catch as well. Probably a higher likelihood of my team winning this game if Manoj stays within the 2 wickets. Abba nahi manegi, says Gogari. I think Farhan would have preferred just dropping that catch anyway for the sake of his
It's
team.
not just dropping the catch, Gokul. Manoj, I actually made the captain get injured. How often do you see
I
it?
think that's what happens when your aura is unmatchable. You force the umpire to give you decisions in your favor, and then you take the other captain to the medical team. So I think that was the mindset from our
So
main
end
man
of power
Manoj.
play, I think we almost got to the predictions, Gokul. 47 runs. We predicted about 48. Very closer to our
I
predictions.
think they're still
So
going
end
to be
of power play.
disappointed though, Kritesh. We did predict about 55 at one point.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they weren't able to get to that point. So I think that's the question that Gurpreet asked earlier on. How much do we think they will score in the power play? I think a really good over from Farhan basically means that they can't get to that 55 run target that we initially thought that would be their ceiling for the power play. Viraj not caring one bit that the power play is over. First ball of the over from Irfan. He takes him on, sweeps him over the leg side. Irfan is counting to see if he has the 11 players on the field. I think he's realized that his captain had walked off the field and nobody else has actually ended up replacing him. So a brain fade moment from
Irfan.
the Gujarat CC there. I think they've just realized that they were one fielder less for that ball. Again, I don't think the fielder would have saved the boundary, but I guess that's the excuse that Irfan's going to give when they ask him why did you bowl such a bad ball in that first ball. But again, I think this is a very entertaining innings so far. Probably not because of the.
It's a great
cricket
shot from
going on.
Viraj, Gokul, as we were talking about the excitement. There we
Yeah.
go. That's another 6 from Viraj. It's very frustrating for Irfan, I would say, being leading wicket taker for
I
your.
don't think there's any need for stating such things. Obviously, you can't humble the goat. Manoj is using his aura to help Virat score some runs. Obviously, he made sure that there wasn't a fielder there in the previous ball. Obviously, he helped him get to that. Helped him get that boundary, and obviously he's followed that up with a massive 6. So 10 runs of the over, almost a trend that we have seen in this competition so far. Haven't we, Kritesh? Post power play overs ending up almost going for more than the runs in the last over of the power play. I think over the last 4 or 5 games that we have covered, the over right after the power play has ended up going for roughly about 9.5 runs. So maybe that's something that you guys want to keep in mind for the rest of the games in this competition. That is something that will probably be very helpful for you to think about. There we go, the fourth ball. Manoj, unfortunately,
That's
thinking
another
that it's
wild
really
swing.
hot for the wicketkeeper, so he's like, why don't I fan you for a little bit? Unfortunately, he's not able to connect with the
I
ball, so
think
it's a
that's a
no.
wicket, Gokul. We might be looking at a wicket there. There we go. That's another wild swing and miss.
Yeah.
I
So
think
Manoj is a bit
now the
tired of
wicket
fanning
keeper.
the wicketkeeper. He's like, you
That's
know
what I
what,
think. If
I'm
I'm a
gonna
wicket
go.
keeper there, I would be very disappointed because it's very hot out there. He might be missing the
I'm
swing
actually,
from.
I'd actually be relieved if I was the wicketkeeper. At one point, I was genuinely concerned if he's going to actually miss the ball completely and hit the wicketkeeper in the head. But there you go, Manoj Supun going for 13 of his 19, obviously bowled by Irfan. So after going for 10 runs in the first two balls, obviously Irfan doing something even worse for his teammates by getting that wicket for Manoj.
This is what
Uh,
we were talking about, Gokul. Irfan being the highest wicket taker for the
yeah.
team. We definitely saw this coming. He is the man who will be taking wickets. So we expect him to take Virat's wicket as well because he is the only threat Gujarat CC has got so far. He's really positive, scoring runs, a lot of boundaries, 40 runs of 22 balls. So you should be aiming to take Virat's wicket at this point, I would say,
Aero says
for
my
Gujarat
goat
CC.
is washed, and Goggle says Viraj humbling Manoj. I think Manoj has done enough for his teammates, or done enough for his opposition, I should say, that he can walk out happily. Sasanka is the new batsman. Obviously, I think a bit more of a true batsman. If you look at his stats, a little bit more convincing if you are a Royal Lions fan. When you see him come out to bat, you're going to have a little bit more faith in the batting order
Yeah,
in the team. So let's just
definitely
have
I
to
agree
look
to
to
that,
see if he's
Gokul.
able to get off the mark really well. So he gets a single
Yeah.
as a good start for you if you're a batsman coming to bat under these conditions. Get off strike first ball, and obviously give that last ball to Viraj to face. Do you think Viraj is going to go for it with any form of aggressive? No, apologies, that was the last ball of the over. So it is going to be Sasanka back on strike. He probably wants to get a single now, get the man in form,
Get
Viraj
Viraj on
on
strike.
strike.
I definitely think if I am Viraj, I would definitely want to increase my intent rather than reducing it due to a wicket in the previous over because
Yeah.
even though there is a wicket, they have lost only one wicket so far coming out of power play, so which means they can afford to take risks. Definitely, you are capable. Viraj is capable. He is the only man I'm expecting to score a lot of runs for the Royal Lions CC. So there is no need for him to bring the intent down because of the wicket because we saw the wicket already coming the way he was performing. Manoj
Yeah.
was not quite up to the mark. He was clearly struggling. So this wicket doesn't have a major impact on Viraj, I would say. With Sasanka coming in, he's a well experienced batter. He's played about 185 matches, scoring 88 as his highest run
Yeah.
total, and he's averaging about 20 runs. So I'm expecting him to be contributing another 20, not 20, I would say about 17 or 16. What do you think, Gokul? With the way
Yeah.
the pressure is being built up and
Yeah, I think anything
Irfan
more than
Ilias coming
17
into
is a
attack.
bit too much for Sasanka. Obviously, he's got a better record than Manoj, but that's not really saying much, if I'm being honest, and fair to Manoj as well. Zayed is a new bowler. You just have to see how he goes about his business. He's on target with that first ball, good fielding as well. But again, not in control in the end. That means they're going to get a comfortable single. Probably the best outcome though for the Royal Lions, get Viraj on strike against more of a part-time bowler here in Zayed. Obviously he's not somebody with the best statistics, but again we've seen that time and time again. Statistics don't really mean anything unless as a team you're playing against a specific player pre-match. Once you're in the field, all that matters is what's going on live. And again, as an inside edge, there's a field there specifically for that leg side shot. Just a single for Viraj. He probably wants to get to that personal milestone 50 before he starts thinking about going down any aggressive routes. Obviously, if you've looked at the game so far, I think it's always been in the control of Gujarat CC, especially post that first wicket partnership. Post that second wicket partnership in that first innings. The percentage of win probability for Royal Lions coming down to 2%. Obviously, the innings runs prediction is obviously at 160. We did predict about 155 at the end of that first innings for the Royal Lions here. But again, I think it's a lot to do with Viraj's wicket. If Viraj loses his wicket, I can see that prediction tanking almost. It's a really good ball on the leg side. The appeal is half-hearted from the bowler. It was going down leg quite comfortably. It's just going to be the one leg by, and I think it's a difficult place to bat. Sulabiya in that second innings, we've seen a lot of the balls staying low, a lot of bowled as
We
well.
have a question from Gogri. Is Ashfaq the goat who is bowling? We're not quite sure because on the stream it says Zahid ur Rahman, whereas on the JC we see it as Ashfaq.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to confirm who's the bowler
Again, I wouldn't
very
probably want to call
soon.
him the
Gogri.
GOAT. Again, he did bowl three decent enough balls to start his over, but he's bowled a full one there for Viraj.
I think
Obviously,
he's
Viraj taking
mentioning
him on.
Ashfaq the goat because of the batting he had. So he's expecting him to be bowling as well. Let's see if he's up to the mark or not.
Yeah, that third ball not quite up to the mark there. Obviously, bowling a little too
Yeah.
full, like I mentioned, to somebody like Viraj is going to take you on and score runs off you if you bowl at that length. But overall, would you say that it's been a decent enough bowling performance from the Gujarat CC team so far, Kritesh?
Definitely, it's a decent enough bowling, I would say, because controlling them under 50 runs during the power play,
Yeah.
that's definitely top class, I would say. Even after coming out of power play, there's the one over which has gone for a lot of runs. One loose ball. Uh, Viraj has
If
shown
that's the
that
case,
if there is
Kritesh,
one
again,
loose
sorry to
ball,
cut you
it'll
off there.
definitely cost you.
But if that's the case, how much do you predict for the score to be at? How much do you predict the score is going to be at the end of the 10th over? I think that's going to be another couple of runs. The fielder might not get to it. So it's 4 runs in the end. I was predicting maybe about 85 runs, Kritesh. Do you think they'll be able to get to that
I would
85 run?
say, I would say definitely more than 85 Google with the way Viraj is playing. I'm thinking about 89, even closer to 90, I would say Google. 89, I would
But I
keep my
think
lines at.
isn't that very hopeful that A, he doesn't lose his wicket, and B, he faces quite a lot of the balls. Obviously, he's not going to be the one on strike now. When we look at the next over, it is going to be Sasanka, who has done enough in his 3 balls that he's faced to give strike back to
I
Viraj.
think
But
the I think the role for Sasanka now would be that he rotates strikes and gives strikes to Viraj
yeah,
most of the time. And when Viraj gets to the strike, it's going to be a very quite comfortable and easy half century for him. Once he gets to that mark of half century, we might be expecting him to be playing with more intent what we saw so far.
yeah,
So I'm expecting it to be for the 10 over mark, the score to be around 89 or 88.
yeah. I think,
We'll
I think
see.
that,
It's Irfan coming back into attack. Let's see. There we go. First ball for Irfan. Uh, I don't think they've gone for a single there. Ronaldo opportunity. I think he was back in time. He reached it. A good call from Viraj asking him not to go for that single.
yeah.
Sasaka was risking his wicket, but he made back in time. Uh, we saw a lot of risky singles so far in the competition, I would say. Not particularly today, but earlier on we saw miscommunication between the batsmen, costing them a lot of runouts earlier on in the innings. That is what you
we've
need to
seen that a
be.
few times in the competition, right? Batsmen almost getting a bit too excited to get back on strike, or on the other hand, a bit too, interested in getting off strike, I should say, and a lot of runouts. But I think obviously in T20 format as a whole, caught is always the most likely of possibilities of a batsman to get out, and I think that's the same logic in this competition as well. Especially when you have two quality batsmen batting, you always expect caught to be more likely. As the quality of the batsman reduce, as you saw with Manoj, obviously no offense to him, Bold becomes a little bit more likely, and I think LBW becomes a little bit more likely as well. Viraj for 50, I think we have seen it quite a lot of times in this competition as well. People wanted to get to 50 in style and end up throwing the wicket away. I think Viraj is a bit more sensible
Very
there.
defensive shot from Viraj. I don't know
Yeah.
what he has in his mind, but this is not what we expect at this point because they are chasing a very big total, and
Yeah,
you
I
need
think that's a
to.
little bit of selfish cricket there, Kritish, almost to make sure he doesn't lose his wicket before he gets to that personal milestone of a
Yeah.
50. It's another, defensive stroke, but they're going to run this time and he's going to get to his 50. So a well-deserved 50 for Viraj, 50 of just 28 balls. Not really supported by the rest of the team so far. 72 for 1 after 8.4 overs. Obviously, 2 balls left to go in this over for Irfan. And it's a loopy ball. Sasanka steps out, making some room for himself. Ends up, flicking the ball over to the leg side. It's going to be just a 1 run by the looks of it. So a pretty neat over so far. Anyway, just the 3 runs of the 5 balls he's bowled. Obviously, Viraj probably going to, loosen the chains a bit now. He's going to just go after everything. If I feel like, that's the right way to go about it. I think
There's
there we
no
go.
fielder there. That's a great shot from Viraj, but it's clearly
I
between the
think, yeah,
gap.
he's
Ends up
placed it
going for
really well in
boundary.
the end. It's gone for six, but just about. But he's
Mhm.
placed it between the two fielders to make sure that nobody's able to, pull off some theatrics and save that from going for a six, or maybe take a, interesting catch in the field. But just as I, presume, he's going to go after everything now. I don't think he's going to waste his time in trying to, play any conservative cricket, especially considering he's gotten to that personal milestone of his, which obviously was very important to him, the way he played. I think the goal now for him is to just make sure that he's able to increase that scoring rate. Partnership, obviously 21 of 13, a bulk of those runs coming through Viraj's bat. I think as a Royal Lions player or a captain, you probably want to see Sasanka get a little bit more control over his batting and try to go after the bowlers as well, just to give some more support for Viraj to keep them in the game. Obviously, current run rate is at 8.78. But that's just not quite enough, though, Kritesh. They got 9 runs in the previous over, but they need to make sure that every ball counts. Now they can't afford dot balls anymore, even
Yeah.
though there's still 11 overs left in the game. Obviously, 9 overs, 79 for one the score. Partnership 21 off 13 between Sasanka and Viraj, and we have Sargent, the new bowler, coming in, right arm, medium pace, on target straight away, back foot defense from Sasanka, just to make another, ball not count for this Royal Line CC team.
I think initially we were talking when Sasanka came into the crease that the role for Sasanka now should be that he rotates strikes, gives
Yeah.
the strike mostly to the Viraj who might be doing the damage of scoring boundaries. But whereas now I think I clearly disagree to that point. I think both the batters now should be aiming for boundaries.
Yeah.
The way definitely there is no anchoring the innings. You need to be going for it. Every ball counts, as you mentioned, Gokul. There is no dot balls. If you get a dot ball, you need to compensate it with a boundary. The run rate should be definitely more than 13 to have like a
Any
low
remote
pressure towards
chance
the
of
end of
even
yeah.
any remote chance of even winning this game, they have to go really aggressive from this ball now onwards, basically. And there we go. Viraj does take on the fielder. There isn't anybody in the boundary there in that backward point position, so it's going to go for four, and obviously that's a much needed four, and obviously that's going to mess with Sajid a bit. I think he does realize that if you bowl too far outside off stump, he's going to play you over covers or over that backward point
We
region.
clearly saw initially when Viraj was teaching Manoj how to bat towards the half side. That definitely
I
shows that
don't
he
think
is an expert
Manoj
at
was
that
paying
point.
attention though, Pritesh. Manoj was more fixated on trying to swing at everything. Obviously, Viraj going at a healthy strike rate, 200. His strike rate now. It's another weird shot. I'm not quite sure what he tried there.
What he was thinking there.
I think he was caught in two minds. He wanted to play a ramp shot initially, but he realized he was too far outside offside to do that. I think it was in his best interest in the end that he didn't actually make any contact. Obviously, Kritesh, we did say 85, roughly around there, was a good score for them to get to at the end of that 10th over, based on the way they were going. Sasanka not really able to get going so far, and Viraj
Now it is
missing a
the
couple of balls
Viraj
as
who is
well.
doing the swinging work that
Yeah.
Gokul. He has replaced Manoj, I would say.
Where do you think you see them in the 12th over? I think maybe about 100, 101 runs is probably where I think
Yeah, I completely agree
I
to the
could see
Gokul.
them.
I think it is going to be 100 runs the way they are playing.
Yeah.
It is being very difficult for them to time the shots.
So I think it's a single of the last ball. And I think I did predict 85 there, Kritesh. So I think
Yeah,
between the two
definitely.
of us, I win that battle. So 232 obviously being the target, guys, and the score so far 85 for 1 in the 10th over. Not anywhere near where they probably want to be. Viraj probably the only reason why they're even at this stage at 85 runs, 61 of 33 balls, obviously going at a really healthy rate, but not really getting any support from the rest of the team. Hussey probably being the more expensive option when it comes to bowling, unable to find any dot balls. A couple of no balls, sorry, not no balls, wide balls as well. When it comes to those 23 runs that he's given away. So from this point, do you think they're going to be able to get to that 165 mark, Kritesh?
165 mark is, I think, clearly possible the way they are playing. Viraj, I think now, before he was, there was no pressure on Viraj because they were just getting started towards the innings. He was scoring runs, Now, since he reached that milestone of 50 and more pressure being built up because they're chasing a huge target, he's trying to go for it every ball
Yeah.
and he's missing a lot of chances.
I think that's
That
a
is clearly
much
building up
needed
pressure.
boundary there for them, though. I think they're still running. Somebody please tell the batsman there's no point because it's already gone for four. So not the best start for the over
The
for Ashfaq.
last
Obviously,
overs, two swing and miss for Viraj has definitely built up some pressure, and this four would bring the pressure down, I would say, Gokul. I think he needs to go for
but
a
unfortunately,
lot of.
Kritesh, I think I disagree with you on that. I think regardless of what he does now, the pressure is not going to come down. I think every ball is a pressure ball now. Wasn't that a wide as well? No, that wasn't a wide. There was a contact on his body, I think. So it ended up not being given as a wide. So that's why the umpire has given it as leg buys. I think it's just flicked his thigh glutes region. If I'm being more specific for you there, Gagari. So it's going to be the leg by 4 runs for that ball. Obviously, another swing and a miss for Viraj, but I think he almost has to swing at everything at this point. I don't think he can afford to not swing anymore.
Yeah, he has to go for it.
I think
Now
that's
he is the one
given.
doing
So he got on his front foot. They tried
wicket.
another swing through covers this time, but it ends up getting a leading edge, and the keeper takes a really good catch. Obviously, he was
I was
going pretty
just
quickly
before
at
this
it.
wicket I wanted to ask you, Gokul, do you think Viraj would be able to get to century? But unfortunately, this wild swing from Viraj costed us wicket. This is what we were talking about, the
Yeah,
pressure being built up, the huge target. I think it was a lot on his shoulders for Viraj because he was single-handedly scoring a lot of runs.
yeah.
So definitely that is what had costed us
So
wicket, I would say.
Zaid, Ashfaq's very happy with that catch that's been taken in the end. Obviously, good, quick catch from Zalim, good reactions from the keeper. We have seen how important it can be when you have a good keeper in your team who can prevent any additional leakage of runs or take good catches behind the stumps. And obviously, Viraj Veerasekar going for a well-made 61. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get to his 100 that you were expecting. Nalanka and Sasanka are the players now who basically bear the responsibility of chasing this massive total down. Nalanka obviously has a lot of experience playing with Sasanka. I think they'll probably want to get to the end of this innings without losing any more wickets. It's a really good opportunity, even if they're not able to chase the entire score down. They have a lot of time now to score runs. That'll probably give them a lot of confidence for the rest of the competition at least. So Gujarat CC want to maybe finish the game off as quickly as possible, but still quite a long way away from doing that. 8 wickets away. We have seen a lot
Positive
of
start from Nalanka,
yeah.
Gokul.
Definitely
But
did
this
get
is not
offside with the
this is
first
not
one.
what you want. This is not what you want. Getting off the strike in the first ball, you need to be scoring a lot of runs.
I
You
think
need to
it's
be
really
scoring
unfair
boundaries.
though
But
for a batsman to come in at this position and be able to score runs that quickly. Obviously, the bowling's been pretty decent so far as well. And last thing you want to do is give your wicket away. So I can understand why Nalanka just wanted to play that down to the leg side, get a single.
he's definitely a very well experienced batter. Gokul Nalanka. He has played 167 games and he's averaging about 22 runs. He has scored a highest of 111. That's
Yeah,
very great from him. So we might be expecting a great performance from him. We'll see if these two are able to build up a partnership. That will be very, how to
definitely.
say,
Just to let you
definitely,
guys
yeah.
know as well, that percentage is tanked all the way to 1% now for Royal Lions. It doesn't look like they are going to be able to pull this off. I say that, and again, there's a really poor fielding effort by the bowler side. He's going to be annoyed with himself, especially because he's
He
let
ends
him.
up getting injured.
Yeah, he's basically let himself down as his own fielder there. So just the 7 rounds of the over and a key wicket of Viraj. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy with that. I think there's going to be a lot of ones and twos in the next few overs, guys. I don't think they're going to have the ability to score boundaries as quickly as Viraj was, able to. Because again, we've gone through the extensively important man Viraj is for this team. He is able to almost single-handedly score a bulk of their runs, which obviously is helpful when he's in a good form like today, when he's able to score runs. But when you're chasing a mammoth total like today, you need to have a little bit more of an assistance from the rest of your team. Sajid back into the bowling attack. Gogri says he wants some more drama. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be any more drama. I think if you missed the Gogri, Manoj ended up getting bowled. Very unfortunate end to his innings. Really full length delivery in Nalanka hits it straight back to the bowler. Ends up getting a single at deep long off. Let's have a look to see if Sasanka's gonna have a better time at facing Sajid?
I think Gujarat CC, in spite of having a great batting lineup, they have a great bowling lineup as well. Local, I think that this is what is going to make them uh, to be the top on the table.
Yeah.
They are currently third on the table. This victory is going to be very crucial for them, taking them to the first spot.
There was
The
a
way this
pressure release shot from Sasanka who gets caught in the
straight.
deep. I think the field ended up
Oh,
misjudging it. It missed his hands. He has still taken the catch, but I think it hit
it
something
ends up
else.
getting injured.
Unfortunately, I can't really say what it hit on the stream on YouTube. Please feel free to click on the link in the chat, guys, and watch the game live. And you would have seen on the replay at least where it hit on the fielder. Hope he's okay. Obviously, no. As a guy, I wouldn't want any other guy to get hit on that, area in the body
Region.
either. But again, a pressure release shot attempt from Sasanka. The logic behind that shot was, accurate, but unfortunately, the nether regions of the field there proving to be too good to drop that catch. Obviously, we've
Do
seen
you
a lot of
think,
scores being
well, at this point, since there is back-to-back wickets and the pressure of them trying to score a lot of runs might end up being all out for Royal Lion CC, is that a possibility, you think?
Just before I get to that question, Kritesh, Gogri asked, why is the team laughing? Unfortunately, Gogri, I think the team was laughing because the gentleman in the boundary ended up getting hit on his body, in the part of the body that's a bit comical for everybody. So I hope you understand what I mean by that. Sajid coming back into the attack. He's bowled really well so far. Really straight, really quick. And Asidan ends up just blocking it for a top ball, ends up not losing his wicket. That's probably the best thing he could have done for himself there. Sorry, your question there, Kritesh, was I think will they be able to get to the 160 target, was it?
No. My question was that since there is pressure being built up and back-to-back wickets, can we be expecting all out at this point?
I think all out is a bit too drastic to think about this early on. Obviously, still 8 overs to go after these after these two balls, and they still have 7 wickets left. So I don't really think that an all out is on the cards. At least for now. Obviously, that could change very quickly if there's a couple of wickets that fall in either this over or the next over. But let's just say, as of right now, I don't think all outs is something that we need to discuss. Really good bowling from Saj. They're getting a little bit of movement, away from the batsman, and obviously Asidan, not somebody that you expect to come in, this early, not somebody that you want to come in this early. And I think this is where Royal Lions struggle a bit. They don't have a lot of depth in their batting lineup. If you guys are somebody who watch a lot of these Kuwaiti games, if you have a lot of interest in these games, just remember that if you're looking at any of the Royal Lions games in the future, they don't really have the best batting depth, which is probably the reason why they're not able to chase down big scores. Overall, I think in the field with the bat and with the ball, they have struggled today. And I think they have a lot
Gogri
of
says, what
self-reflection.
an over for Sajid, definitely. He's taken a wicket as well. Just keeping after 2 overs, he's given out only 8 runs.
Yeah, but I think
Great
it's still
economy from him.
probably not
Just
the
for
best over we've seen so far. I think a couple of days ago we did see Rijal, if you remember, Kritesh, getting 3 wickets in an over.
yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't get a hat trick, but 3 wickets in an over and just gave away the 1 run. So he's still not able to beat that record. But here we go, Sahid back into the attack to bowl his third over, 1 for 13 so far. Obviously, getting that big wicket in his previous over of Viraj. Let's have a look to see if he's able to put Asidan under any more pressure. Ball straight,
Oh,
balls
that's
in
another
first ball.
wicket.
I think that's the cutter there, and I think too good for Asidan. No front foot movement, and I think if you can't get to the pitch of the ball, you are going to struggle at any level of the game. That's just the basics.
Now, do
Asidan,
you think Gogol all out is a possibility? What do you think?
I think if they
The way
send
they're putting pressure.
if they send Asidan to bat, 3 down, and he gets out that way, I have to think about all out being a possibility, Kritish.
Yeah, we're not quite sure if they have a great middle order. It's just the middle order. We're not about to test the tail enders, I would say. If the middle order is weak, I can't imagine how it
We
might be
did
with the tail
initially,
enders.
say the same thing a couple of games ago, and Shabir came and proved us all wrong and ended up chasing a
Yeah,
massive total, almost on his own there. So let's have a look to see if the Royal Lions have any bats who can come in and do something that Shabir was able to do for his team. Pradeep is the one who comes in. He's taking a middle stump guard, which probably is a smarter thing to do than showing all the way 3 stumps to somebody who's able to bowl cutters pretty efficiently, like Shahid is. I think
Uh, very bad stats about Pradeep Gokul. He has played only 49 games, which shows that the lack of experience he has. The
Yeah.
average for him, can you guess the average for him in the 49 games
With
he's played
that
so far?
first attempted shot, I'm gonna say maybe like 12. Anything more, I think is generous.
Unfortunately, it's even less than that, Gokul. It is just 9 is average after playing
Unfortunately.
49 games. This is the middle order for Royal and CC. If you're someone watching this game, please bear in mind that they don't have great batting lineup, so you can't be expecting them to be scoring somewhere around 160. That is going to be very high for them. The obvious line for them to be scoring with the batting lineup they've got will be around one closer to 140 or even higher
I think
130, I
maybe, I
would
think,
say.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe around 135 probably, because I can definitely see more wickets falling here. Nalanka, another one facing, there's a good flick of the leg side, and I think it's gonna be one bounce for, I think, yeah, it is definitely given as one bounce for. So Nalanka is saying, you know what, I'm still here in this game, and if Shabir can do it a couple of games, prior to this, I can be the man for my team who can basically make this game interesting. I think it might still be a little bit too late for him to be to be attempting a comeback. Obviously, they're still are only scoring at a 7.8 run rate, which is nowhere near where they need to be scoring to get to that mammoth total of 232 runs. Obviously. But again, the closer you get, the less humiliating it is, and obviously it helps your net run rate as well. It's another wild swing.
I think it might be in wicket.
I think
Do
if
you
the
think there's
bowler
a
appealed
bat
with a
involved?
little, I don't think there was any bat involved. I think if there was a better appeal,
That's a bad fielding. That's a very, very
probably the
bad
worst
fielding.
attempt of a throw I've ever seen in my life. He picked up the ball pretty well, ended up throwing it behind him. I don't know how that's even possible, guys. So if anybody is watching, please explain to me how can you throw a ball behind you, and they ended up getting two leg buys. So there's definitely no bat involved. The umpire thinking that it's going down leg. I
I was
don't think it
convinced
was.
it was a leg by LBW Gokul.
Yeah,
I was
I think
really
yes,
convinced.
the bowling team appealed with a little bit more enthusiasm in
I
my
think it might
opinion.
be a wicket. I think that might be a wicket.
Yeah, and I think Pradeep's almost ran all the way back into the dugout. He does not think he's made it. He's changed his mind. He's showing us some of his
I
modern
think maybe he's
stance.
just trying to see his luck if he's just in time. But I'm convinced that it is a wicket.
It's
Like,
a good throw, good take from the keeper, and
go.
he's not
He's
even
nowhere
on the
near.
screen. Yeah, so I think he should have just walked back in. He could have had an early shower. He's tried his luck by staying there for no apparent reason. I think if you're a batsman, you know if you're out. There we go. The red light is out, indicating that he is a run out. So it goes from bad to worse for these Royal Lions batsmen. Obviously, losing another wicket, senseless run out. We did speak about this a few overs back as well. We do see a lot of these, unnecessarily complicated calls between the batsmen. I think both of them didn't really want to be on strike, and if you could see it in the running between the wickets. Lanka making that quick run call initially itself. Uh,
It's a good throw from the fielder, I would say. There have been a lot of overthrows, but this throw was straight to the keeper and it was really great fielding from them, I
Definitely.
would say.
So I think after a really poor throw on the previous ball from the fielder in third man, the infield has basically made amends and gotten a run out. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be really happy with that outcome. Obviously, 2 wickets in this over already. Zaid wouldn't really complain about the two leg buys or the boundary that happened in the over because of those 2 wickets.
Basit Ali, their top bowler, is into batting attack now. Oh my God, that's a wild, wild swing.
I think
If Hasib had aimed for the stumps, that's gone.
I think Nalanka thought that he's going to hit that ball into Saudi Arabia because he put a lot of a lot of swing into that shot, not really getting anything in the end. It's just gone straight to the keeper. Hasib been pretty expensive so far. It's a
It's a
horrible
wild.
ball. I'm not quite sure he's gotten any
I
control over
think
that ball.
if I am Hasib, I would be aiming at the stumps, Gokul. The way they are playing,
Yeah.
that I think the batsmen they can't time it really well, and if you're aiming for the stumps, there is definitely wicket
I think
chance.
we mentioned that
Uh,
earlier as well. You hit, sorry, if you miss, I hit should be the intent for the bowlers, not just bowlers straight. That's a much
because
better
there's
ball.
another swing and miss.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
why
but
don't you try
with
playing
the
like a outside off stump ball on the outside of
yeah.
the off stump line.
Uh, Basit Gokul, fortunately, he is a bit better. He has got a bit better stats than Pradeep, who had come in earlier. Can you guess his average, Gokul?
I think maybe 11.
Perfect. You're on spot, Gokul. He's got 11,
You know
11.4
what?
is his
Pre-match
average.
predictions. I think he's been given a no ball because the ball pitched outside the actual pitch area. So again, Gogri, just to let you know, that wasn't even a wide. I think it's a no ball because of it pitching outside the designated pitch area. So it's a free hit. I have a cheeky suspicion that it's going to be a dot ball. He's going to swing wildly and miss it completely. Nalanka swinging. He connects and he connects really well. I think that's going to go to the
Oh, that's a
boundary.
great
Incredible
save
fielding in the
from.
boundary. Almost acrobatic, slapping the ball back into the field of play, preventing them from being any more leakage of runs. Just a one in the end. Surely he could have ran more than one there, Kritesh. He's hit the
Yeah.
ball back into the ground, and I think it's taken him about 10 seconds to at least pick up and throw the ball back. Surely there should have at least been a second run there. I think Bassett said, you know what, there's no point, you've wasted a no ball, let me have a go at Hasib. You expect a little bit more from a left arm pacer. He's got a little bit of a swagger of a run into the wicket. Classic drive, square drive from Bassett. Fielder doesn't really look like he wants to put a lot of effort. He's just jogged past the ball in the end. I don't even know why he chased the ball in the first place. Again, just to let you guys know,
Another overthrow.
there's another overthrow and they've gotten another run. So 3 runs of that ball, obviously, all thanks to poor fielding effort in the end of the day. 107 for 5 after 13.4 overs. Bassett getting 3 of his first ball. Kritesh, how often do you see a batsman getting 3 runs in that first ball that he faces? It's a very
That's a very,
unique
very rare
outcome.
outcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
very
it
rare
might even
outcome.
be a little bit more rarer than the hit wicket that we saw yesterday. So,
Yeah.
a lot of potentially rare outcomes that we get to see in this Falcons Champions Trophy. It's a straight ball. Nasanka, what are you? Sorry, Nalanka, what are you doing? And the keeper makes an even bigger mistake, and it's a bye. So quite a lot of extras coming in this over, thanks to a lot of poor cricket all around. The ball in itself was really bad, if you ask me. Loosener outside off stump. No longer trying to take a ball that's quite a long way outside off stump and trying to plant it towards that square leg region doesn't really make any sense. And then the keeper missing it completely as well. Bassett, to be fair, looks very classy. Gets to his front foot for that second ball in a row, able to squeeze it down to that covers fielder for a single. Obviously,
So end of 14 overs, it is 109 for 5. Basit on 4 runs and Nalanka on 8 runs. Basit's career high was 36 runs, Goku. Do you think he might be able to break his record of going
I mean, he's
breaking the 36
gotten
run?
off to a good start. He's still got 6 overs to play. He is on strike for this over as well. And I don't think there's any realistic chance of them winning this game now. So I think it all comes down to him maybe trying to play for some personal glory. Maybe he can say, you know what, I at least did something with the opportunity I was given. I think his initial expectation that we had was around 11. And I think maybe the couple of shots that he's played so far makes me want to think that he might be in for maybe a
Oh, that's a great
couple more
block from
runs.
Basit Ali saving his wicket. Uh, it was Zahid. I'm not quite sure if it is Zahid bowling or Asfaq because he has got the jersey with Asfaq name on it.
Yeah.
So
Aswad
it's
might just be another name that he has, like a nickname. Let's see what he does in the second ball. It's a shot over covers, a lot of swagger in that shot, almost an inside out shot from Bassett. Ends up just being a single though, thanks to the fielder in the boundary who's there to protect runs from leaking in that particular way. I'm sorry, apologies, Gregory, I didn't see your message. Said Ashfaq Mia is back. Yeah, he was on fire in his previous over, and he probably wants to just come back and continue that good quality bowling he's been bowling so far. And Nalak almost squeezes that over the bowler's head. There isn't really a fielder in the 30-yard circle straight, so it's just going to be a comfortable single. No real attempt of a catch there from anybody.
I think
And
Ashfaq is the Zahid Ur is doing a great job. He's aiming for the stumps every ball. He
yeah.
knows that there might be a great chance for him
It's a poor
getting
ball
bowled.
down the leg side, and I
Yeah.
think Bassett's done really well there to flick it off of his legs. But the outfield in that region, again, like we mentioned earlier on as well, Kritesh, is pretty slow. The throw almost hitting Bassett and the head keeper, helping him out there. A couple of runs for Bassett. He's got a lot of outcomes so far: a dot ball, a single, a 2, and a 3. I think we've got cricket bingo going on, guys. Is there a probability of Zahid getting a 4 and a 6? Let's have a look. He goes for a big swing, but ends up changing his mind. It's going to be a quick single. He's a bit scared of the throws coming in, but there's no throw from the fielder. Good sportsmanship, spirit shown there as well. Bassett getting to 8 of the 6 balls he's faced so far. Nalanka struggling quite a bit more. Only able to score 9 of his 12 with a lot of mishits, wild swings. I think this could be in
Initially, we
for
were thinking,
150.
initially we were thinking that Bassett might be in for like 10 or 11 runs, Gokul, but he's been
It's a
positive.
massive
It's very
shot
high up in the
attempted there from
air.
Nalanka, but too much expectation from the fielder in the 30-yard circle. He was running in circles there. Ringa roses, no catches for the fielder. Nalanka stays within the region where I think we expected him to bat in maybe about 10 to 15 runs. I think this
It was
is a wicket in
115 for 5 after
yeah,
15 overs.
lot of
This is
fives there.
what you need to be expecting if you're chasing 232. The
Kritesh,
200,
just to let you know, 15 extras in 15
yeah,
overs, and the score is 115 for 5.
115. Oh my God.
So,
How often do you say this?
yeah, a lot of
It's
fives,
15,
guys. So, if
15,
anybody's
15.
feeling
Yeah.
lucky today, obviously that's a lucky number. Any of you have a lucky number as 5, obviously, back your luck today. There's quite a lot of fives in play. 117 needed of 30 balls. I don't think that's possible. Hence the 1% win rate for Royal Lions. Irfan coming back into the attack, obviously leading wicket taker for them so far in the competition. Let's just have a look to see if he's able to add on to his wicket tally. I'm not quite sure what Nalanka wants to do. He wanted to swing for it early on, changed his mind,
But
went back on the
yeah,
back foot and just blocked it.
he
So
doesn't want to take any risks against Irfan because if you take a risk, that's going to be a wicket,
yeah,
especially against Irfan, I would say. Because second ball from Irfan,
there you go. That's
trying
the
to take
risk
a
you were
risk.
talking
That's a
about. There
great.
is no fielders there. He's placed it without a lot of timing. I think it's just going to be a single in the end. You know what? I want to watch Bassett bat. I think Bassett has played a few technical shots, and I probably would like to look at that instead of this wild slogging from Nalanka. I think Nalanka is a bit upset with himself. He's not really able to connect. That's a big heave from Bassett over cover corner.
That's a
First
great
six
six.
in a long time. So anybody who sent Bassett this late on to bat, shame on you because he's shown that he's capable of batting and he's not really afraid of taking on Irfan. And he's like,
Six.
you
Yeah.
might be the leading wicket taker, not in my house. I do what I want. I hit you for a 6. So I think Irfan probably wants to get a revenge on that massive shot. I think Bassett's going to go for it again. It's a bigger shot, a little bit shorter from the bowler, and I
There's
think it's
no
between the
fielder there.
fielders. So back-to-back boundaries, a 6 and a 4 for
I
Bassett. A
think
little bit of
Bassett.
resistance.
I think Bassett thinks he might be able to chase a target of 117 and 30
Yeah, I
balls.
think
That
he's
is what he's
backing
showing it
himself.
now.
And you know what, Kritesh, if you ask me, after this performance so far, 18 of 8, send Bassett batting for opening next match. He's taken probably the best bowler in this team statistically on, and he's hit him for back-to-back boundaries. Why not? Why not give him the opportunity in the next match to come and show his talent, his game? He makes room for himself again. Almost pushes that past that fielder in covers. It's going to be a single.
He
Doesn't
wants
quite have
to
the
keep
legs.
strike, I think so.
Yeah, doesn't
I
quite
think he
have the
wanted to keep
legs to
strike.
score. To get to a boundary. He scores 11 of the 4 balls he's faced. I think he's going to be happy with himself. 19 of 10. Why would you, send somebody like Bassett after Nalanka, who struggled a bit with, scoring? He's only scored 11 of 15, missed quite a lot. I think he's basically shown a lot of talent there, Bassett. So I think he might get a little bit of a better opportunity for some of the future games as well.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I obviously agree with you, Gokul. He needs to come high up the order, at least 2 down or 3 down. Even I don't agree. I'm agreeing that he should be opening the bat.
Yeah.
Basit versus Shabir, who is better? Oh, that's a very difficult question. I don't want to answer to it. You're a great fan of Shabir, Gokul. You might want to answer
Yeah, I
it.
would be very upset
This,
if you said anybody except Shabir in that question. I think the difference is obviously Bassett doesn't really have a realistic chance of chasing this down. Whereas Shabir almost from
Shabir's one.
I think it was a 4% probability for them to win that game, and they ended up convincingly finishing the game off. So I have to back Shabir, but Bassett still has time to change my mind. This is Pyro. Are you Rajasthani? Says Gogari. I think Gogari might be Rajasthani themselves. Obviously, trying to find a friend in our comment section. What is your opinion now, Kritish? I am interested in knowing this.
What is your opinion, and what do you want me to know, if he is a Rajasthani or not, or is there a different
No, I
opinion
was
about
asking about
it?
Shabir versus Basit. I want to know the response to that question.
That's a wicket. That's a great bowling from Sajid. There we go. This is what we were talking about, Gokul. If the
Yeah.
bowlers keep aiming for the wicket, the stumps, it's definitely coming. That's a bit of sledging going on
Yeah,
between.
how many times do you think he's attempted that shot? Nalanka obviously 11 of 16, not really being able to get to the point that he would have wanted to. But I think it's a fair depiction of his quality at this level. Obviously, he has struggled quite a lot. But why would you try that shot 7 times and then you miss and then you try it for an eighth time? It doesn't really make any sense to me, Kritesh. I think I'm really upset with Nalanka. Obviously, almost eating into the balls of Basit. I'm really excited to see what happens now. Kevin, the youngster, the under 18 player, now showing
I
up
think
for his team.
in case if they lose another wicket, we might be seeing Millum come in. I think the size of him is very, very similar to the size of a bat. I'm not quite sure if he'll be able to bat.
You shouldn't be making such statements, Kritesh. Obviously, Sachin
He should
Tendulkar is a very
improve.
small person himself, but he's the greatest of the players to play the game. So let's not judge anybody. He goes a Yorker, played really well by Kevin. So the youngster showing how you defend, quick run as well, good batting so far from Basit, and obviously Kevin taking a really good calculated single in that first ball. Um, what is your opinion about the youngsters playing in this competition, Pritesh? Do you think something that you like, or is it too much pressure on somebody that young this earlier on in their playing career?
I think it's definitely going to boost their confidence level playing against very experienced
Mm-hmm.
players at this age. And it is also good to see that Kuwait is giving opportunity to these kind of youngsters playing
Yeah.
at this level.
Just to let you
Uh,
guys know as well, another overthrow, and I think they might be considering a fourth run there. If you're good, says Goguri. That's I think the best way to think about it. There is no age when it comes to sport. It's just quality. So as long as you have the ability to play against any opposition, doesn't matter how young you are or old you are. Again, let's have a look to see what Kevin can do in this final ball of the over. Another Yorker, he digs it out really well. Another quick single, putting pressure on the field. I think that's something that we didn't really see a lot in the early stages of the game. Not a lot of ones and twos to put pressure on the field, and I think that's come to haunt them because maybe another 20 runs now could have saved them when it comes to net run rate later on in the tournament. But again, after 17 overs, 133 for six. Kevin, the youngster, the under 18 player, 2 of 2, and a basic 23 of 13. How impressive has he been so far, Kritish? He's not that far away from his high score. He still has 18 balls to score those runs as well. Do you think he's going to be able to score another 9 runs in the 18 balls left in this innings to get to a personal best?
Obviously, the 23 run which he has scored, that's been from very risky shots. So he's putting his wicket in line, scoring those runs. So it's 9 runs, I would say it's a bit gamble for him. So let's see if he can do it. If he's going for another risky shots, I would say it is going to be under 6 runs. His
Okay.
line would be. It's going to be under 30 runs is what we might be expecting
Yeah,
him to
I
score.
actually think that he's going to do it. I have a feeling he's actually going to, you know, I think it's a really harsh call from the umpire there against the youngster. It was just over the line, in my opinion. Could have been a wide very easily, but unfortunately, he's not given a wide for Irfan. So back-to-back dot balls, a little bit of pressure for Kevin. He's taken almost an off-stump guard there. He probably realizes that the ball's going to be outside off stump. Wants to go after it.
Oh.
He hits it over almost the bowler. Irfan had another opportunity at increasing his wicket count for the tournament so far. One-handed attempt. Unfortunately, it didn't stick, and Kevin basically gets off strike. I think Kevin probably happy with that in the end. Do you think?
Oh
There you
God,
go.
that's a
That's
great
a
shot from
massive
Bassett.
shot from Bassett. He's showing the rest of his team how to bat. I think Kritesh judged him, a bit too early, saying that 30 is probably a fair depiction of what he's capable of. And he says, you know what, Kritesh, you can have your opinion, and I'm going to show you what I'm capable of. He's absolutely clobbered that over that cover corner region, which he's been attempting a big shot there for a while now, and that's been the best connection he's had so far. He's
I think
middled it
he
for
might
six.
be breaking his record. Oh, that's a miss swing and miss. Couldn't time it
I
well.
think he could have done better,
Just
should have
five
done
more
better
runs.
there.
7 more runs and he'll be breaking his record of 36
And I
runs.
think he probably just looks for a single, if I'm being honest. He actually doesn't. He ends up playing a really good cut shot through that,
That's
gap
another
between
boundary. Maybe the
the
ball slowed
fielder
down.
gully and point, but it's going to just slow down before it reaches for a four. They're going to run two. I'm not quite sure if that's the smartest thing to do, to give strike back to the under 18 player in Kevin as the new over begins. So after the 18th over, 142 for 6. Again, just to remind you guys, we did predict a score of about 155, 156 before this inning started, and I think it does look like we are again spot on when it comes to that prediction, unless there's another capitulation in these next 12 balls, or if Bassett and Kevin can go absolutely batshit crazy when it comes to their ability to hit runs, which either of those things I think is a bit too unlikely. I think the wicket's a bit more likely than the runs being likely. I think Kevin likes the pace, don't you think, Ritesh? He's played it through the gap. He's going to get a comfortable single and pass it. Potentially might still have a cheeky opportunity at a maiden 50 in the competition. Do you think 50 is on the cards? I know it's a bit generous to assume with the
With the number of balls left.
yeah, with the amount of balls left, it's just 11 balls left in the innings, but he needs 19 runs. You've seen crazy things that happen. He steps outside, generates that momentum, he hits it into the gap. I don't think there's a fielder who's going to stop them from being able to run two. And I think that's a smart thing to do. They're thinking about a three, but Bassett says, you know what, Kevin, you're young, you can stay on the other side. Let's finish the game with you as a not out. There's no point of you throwing your wicket away. And I think he's probably wanting to get to that.
I think that is a good thinking from Bassett and trying to resist Kevin putting his wicket at risk very early on in the career.
Yeah.
You need to keep your averages and stats very good. So
Goguri says could have gotten more boundaries if the quality of the ground was better. I actually do not agree with you on that, Goguri, because you need to look at what the opposition have done as well. You can't say that you could have hit more boundaries if the ground was better. When the in the first innings they ended up scoring 16 boundaries, right, and 8 sixes. So I think it ends up being a quality issue when it comes to the ability within the players. Obviously, in this innings, Viraj obviously scored 8 boundaries himself, and the rest of the team has only managed to get 4 boundaries so far. So I think it's almost a team issue, a quality issue than the ground issue.
I think the thought process behind Gogri thinking that the qualities of ground could have been better is the outfield. I think what he's mentioning, because
there you go, that's another boundary. So Bassett says, if you want a boundary, Kritesh, that's what I'll give.
There we go. He gets the career best, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to be very happy with his own personal score. Career best figures for Bassett. He's going to essentially walk into that dressing room today, and he's going to walk in with his head held high. He's going to say, listen, next game onwards, I'm opening. I'm going to walk in before anybody else. I don't care what you guys have to say. I show what I can do with the bat. 38 of 19.
There we go. It might be another boundary for Bassett, but
He's played
due to the
through that
very slow
gully
outfield.
field.
Oh, that's another footy.
Oh, there's no need for that. I think the ball almost stopped before he even kept his feet there. So we've got Cristiano Ronaldo almost, trying to save runs, but in the end he's only able to save 1 run by the looks of it. So probably could have just kicked it for a 4 and not have to worry about the effort of throwing it back. Pretty good over.
Initially, our predictions for Royal Lions was about 160, Gokul. I think they might be able to cross the predictions if they continue to do this.
Unfortunately, I didn't expect Bassett to come out and score a quick fire 41 of just 20 balls, guys. What an impressive innings so far from Bassett.
I think we might be expecting a half century from Bassett if he faces all 6 balls here. I think Gokul.
Definitely, I think at least that
we would be very happy to see
might
that.
be coming into play. And you know what? A lot of respect for Bassett.
What is your prediction for the last over, Gokul? Quickly tell it before the bowler bowls the ball.
10 runs. I think Hasiba's
I'm going to go 11 runs. I'm going to go
what
for 11.
A shot! Inside out shot. Bassett overcovers, but just caught in the boundary. So unfortunately, Bassett has to go after playing a valiant effort. 41 of 21 balls. There is a lucky fielder, I think, in the end, in that deep covers position. I didn't think there was a fielder there.
We can see there is a fielder already doing warm down for this game with an over to go.
I feel like a few of these fielders have been warming down for a while now. Nobody's trying to put a lot of effort in the field, but a good
I
catch.
wanted to see Milum come in, Gokul, but unfortunately, I think we don't have the opportunity to see
Yeah,
him
definitely.
bat.
A couple of games ago, I really wanted to see Bulbul come in, but unfortunately, after that, berserk of an innings from Rivaj, I wasn't able to see that. Nilush does come in now. He does have a really impressive beard, so maybe he can at least be proud of that
Very similar,
at the
not
end of
just
the
a
game.
beard, Gokul. Can you see his hair? He has got a very long hair as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of sledging going on now. He doesn't really care about the guard he's taking. He's telling the umpire, you don't really need to tell me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit this out of the park. First ball, cover drive straight to the field. Not the expectation that I had after he told the umpire he doesn't really need to get any assistance with the guard. Again, I don't know if that's the smart thing to do, Pritesh, to sledge the umpire. I think it might almost go against you. There's a bit of
Oh,
a
they didn't
problem
even
with him.
take a single there, Gokul. He's just staying there. Maybe we
He
might be
wants to he
expecting.
wants to get a big hit. There you go. He's gonna swing at the player. I think this time he's gonna run a single. I think Kevin said, you know what, I might be 16, but I'm better than you. Keep quiet and run. I think that's fair. Kevin's batted relatively well so far. I think the quality of bowling he's faced to get 5 runs is not the easiest task, especially now when you have anything
It's a
to
great
play
shot
for.
from him. There we
You're
go.
not flicking it on the leg side. I think there's a
Might be
lot
going
of
for a two, I think. Let's see. Yeah, they've
good
gone for a
throw.
two
I
there.
think there's a keeper chance. No, there is. It's a comfortable two. So I think maybe Kevin wants to end up with a good strike rate. He has another couple of balls to do so. Maybe wants to get his first ever boundary in the competition. Obviously, that's something obviously to be proud of as well. If you're able to get some runs under your belt as a 16-year-old, playing against such experienced players, or he just belts it through the covers region, and unfortunately, there's a fielder, the same fielder who was a demise a couple of balls ago for Bassett, ends up preventing Kevin from getting his maiden career boundary in this competition. Again, I don't think we're going to see any big attempts from Nilush in this final ball, but if I was Nilush, I'd probably step down like Manoj, his captain, did. Take 5 or 6 steps down the wicket and see where it goes. If you don't hit the ball, you at least hit the bowler. Why not try something like that? A lot of
Just another single from
yeah.
Nilush.
So I think it's a very disappointing end in the end. I think I was 3 runs too optimistic for the Gujarat CC. I think they leaked a little bit of runs in that middle of a period, especially against Basit. 58, I think, at the end of the 20 overs. 15 extras, probably not helping their cause either. But in the end of the day,
Even though it was a great performance from Viraj,
yeah.
he didn't work out very well for Royal
I
Lions.
think Viraj and
But it's
Basit, can be very happy with their performance and effort today. But like Gogri says, the Guju strike and they win comfortably in the end. Obviously, an important innings from Viraj and Basit just to save face almost for the Royal Lions. But from the rest of the team, it was really poor. Decent enough bowling performances from Asad in his 3 overs. Obviously, just going for the 18 runs. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get any wickets. Zaid, on the other hand, was able to get a couple of wickets while maintaining that 6 economy. Sajid.
also, not to mention Gokul, Farhan, he got injured, but he was very great at bowling. He just gave out 4 runs in the first over, getting injured in the
That's
last
all
ball.
to do with the aura of
Yeah.
the GOAT himself, Manoj, who ended up injuring the opposition captain before throwing his own wicket away. But unfortunately for Farhan, he wasn't able to stay in the field for the rest of the game. But hopefully he does not have to worry about that injury any longer. Again, all thanks to an incredible first innings effort from Ashfaq, who scored a rapid 141 runs in just 75 balls. Imran and Sajid complimenting him as well, as we mentioned earlier on, with a lot of runs as a cameo from both of them. A lot of unnecessary mistakes in the field and with the ball from the Royal Lions ending up costing them quite dearly in the end. The Gujarat CC win by 73 runs. I think we did back Gujarat CC to win the game comfortably from the beginning anyway. I think that just comes down to the quality of the players, and they've shown that today. But what do you make of the game so far, Kritish? Sorry, at the end of the game, Kritish.
Definitely, it was very entertaining performance from Ashfaq in the first innings. Also, Mohammad Iran, these two put up a great partnership, clearly dominating the bowling, putting so much pressure on the bowlers. I think if they did not lose Imran's wicket, we could have been expecting almost 250 runs, Gokul. I
Yeah.
think that was definitely possible if these two maintained the partnership. And with the bowling, I would say Basit was very expensive, whereas when he came to batting, he clearly entertained us
Yeah.
till the end of the innings. We did not expect him to score 41 runs. He ended up losing his wicket, unfortunately, but it was clearly a great performance from him. Uh, the total of 157 from them is what we expected as well. They clearly need to work on their middle order batters and bowling lineup, I would say, if they were playing in the upcoming matches in this particular tournament. And it's a great result for Gujarat CC because I think they clearly climbed to the leader, being top in the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Overall,
I
great
think
performance from
overall
Gujarat
it's just
CC.
been, it's just been what we expected from them. Obviously, quality team, great performance. And I really hope you guys, Manoj needs to work on his attitude. I mean, I think he did what he could, coming early on, chasing a massive score. I can't really blame him for, what he attempted as well. In the end of the day, it didn't really work out for him, unfortunately. But I think there's a lot of things that as a team they can work on, both with the bat, the ball, and also obviously with in the field. But overall, it was a great match. I think if you're a cricket supporter, if you're neutral, you would have enjoyed a few of those innings there. So I'm sure all of you guys watching would have enjoyed that as well. Just to let you guys know, the cricketlaunch.tv link is obviously always live, even when we're not streaming those games on YouTube through our commentary. So make sure you save that link in your browser so you can watch those games uninterrupted. Obviously, no ads, fastest streams for those games in the world. So please feel free to click on that link and save that link. And we really hope to catch you guys soon as well.
Thank you, guys. See you soon again tomorrow.